West Side is in the building. You already know. Let me see. I didn't upload my beat. Oh, man. I need to upload that. Let me go to my email real quick. Y'all hang tight. I'm trying to see if I sent something to myself. A WMA file to myself. Let me see. Let me search. I'm going to search it. If I sent myself a WMA file, I can then upload it to the interface. What in the world? Why do I have all these? Oh, God. Let me go to sent. In sent. Okay, in sent. Let me see if I sent it here. Maybe I sent it here, and then I can upload it from there. You guys bear with me, okay? Bear with me. Bear with me, everybody. Oh, yeah. Project file. Let me see. All right, bong. Yeah, I got it right there. Nah, see? That's not... Come on, man. Where is my beat, man? I made that beat. This is the project file, not the vid. Did I not send? Oh, wait. Yeah, there you go. No, it says empty.
You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
Guess I'll just have to settle for that. All right, what's goody, old dirty? What's goody, Sawab? What's goody, deadly? Yeah, that's me. I'm the bad guy. Apparently. I am the bad guy in everybody's story. I don't know why. I didn't do nothing. Yeah. The bad guy in everybody's story. I gotta see how to get that off of there. Yeah, apparently I'm the bad guy in everybody's story. Other people, the good people on the other side of boxing Twitter, they keep talking about me. I don't understand. The last 2 weeks, I've been accused of having burner accounts, which I don't have because I'm too goddamn old to be running around making alternate accounts to use on Twitter. That's kid stuff. I debunked all of that. Apparently, the people at Chicken Broth keep talking about me. The Chicken Broth people. I don't know what that's all about. You know what I mean? And I said it yesterday, you know. I'm not against anybody doing their own thing, you know what I mean? But I'm not the one that takes shots, you know. I don't take shots because I have no need. There's no reason for me to take shots at spaces on Twitter that has nothing to do with me. What happens is they'll say something about me and then I'll address it. And then they'll act like, oh, yeah, nah, fam. If you don't talk about me, it don't even get brought up. Gary was good, man. Yeah, I'm public enemy number 1, man. I am. You know what I mean? Because I ain't do nothing. I'm chilling. I ain't bothering nobody. You know what I mean? Just doing my thing, B. I ain't bothering these people. So we gonna let the list populate. I got to get that damn beat off of there, man. I'm going to start it over, and y'all rock out with that for a minute. We're going to let the list populate.
You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy. 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 Loud, not beat, bitch! That's the bad guy. That's the bad guy. That's the bad guy. That's the bad guy. Loud, not beat, bitch! That's the bad guy. That's the bad guy. That's the bad guy. That's the bad guy.
I made that a very long time ago. I was into making beats. And as stated, I feel that itch to make beats, not because I want to sell the beats, but because original content is valuable. It's invaluable. And, I know how to make beats. It's not very hard. I'm a Capricorn. We're naturally musical. The music is in us. That's why Joe Frazier was in a rock band. If you a Capricorn, the music is in you. And the music is in me. Yeah, I mean? So yeah, I might get myself a MIDI pad. I'm the bad guy in everybody's story. Doesn't matter what I do. Even if I stay out of the way, even if I distance myself, I'm still the bad guy. I didn't do anything. I don't do anything. R.I.P. to Mills Lane, former fighter, mostly known for being one of the Hall of Fame referees in the sport of boxing. Rest in peace to Mills Lane. I found out about that earlier today. But he lived a full life. He had a full life. He died of because he was already type O, you know what I mean? So God bless him and his family. Condolences. Mills Lane was one of the ones, man. Like Mills Lane, Steve Smoger. Who was the other one, man? The one from the Meldrick Taylor and Chavez fight. I forgot his name. He actually is the one who's responsible for getting Zarina McCoy into boxing. I forgot it. What was it? Richard Steele? I think it's Richard Steele. Because he has a boxing gym. I believe it's in Las Vegas. And Zarina McCoy, I believe he helped her get into the sport of boxing. Shit, I gotta sneeze. Fuck. And yeah, man. Yeah, I'm the bad guy in everybody's story, man. Sent the two gentlemen from Chicken Talks the link. Let's see if they show up. Yeah, I mean, sure. Provided that they can behave themselves. I mean, I know they're not expecting me to just sit here while they yell and curse at me. You know, act your age, because I'm old. I may not look it, but I am old enough that I don't behave that way. De lo que manín. La República Dominicana está aquí. Edwin Castillo, que lo que manín. Saludos. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. And yeah, the last 2 weeks, I feel like there's been a concentrated effort I don't know, I guess distract me from what I'm normally doing, because you guys follow me on Twitter. You know that I'm not even one for the random debates on Twitter, because for that we can do it live where it can be recorded and I can actually get something out of it. That aside, I don't really care what anybody else thinks about any given subject. But if we're going to have a discussion of any kind, or a debate of some sort, then yeah, I would do it here, because at least I'll make some money from it. Other than that, I'm just not interested. In the last 2 weeks, I feel like there have been a lot of people trying to distract me. The demons and the creatures and the filth of the other side of boxing Twitter that regularly take shots at me, even though I don't take shots at them. They regularly take shots at me, and then, you know, they'll try to flip it as if it's me starting something. Like, nah, y'all the ones that's talking about me. Y'all the ones talking about I got burner accounts. Y'all the ones talking about I be lying, can't even tell nobody what I'm lying about, but always calling me a liar. What did I lie about, dog? What did I lie about? This is the only channel that does your research for you and relays it to you. That's why it's called the relay, because I do the research and relay it to you. Yeah, man. Yeah, they mad at me over there, bro. I don't know what I did. I stay out the way. I don't be in them circles, man. I don't be in them conversations. I be chilling, and they stay talking bad about me. You know what I mean? If they weren't so infantile and immature, I would be big enough to say I don't have no problem with them, but they're not like that. They on some like little kid shit. So, hey, well, you go ahead with that shit then. I don't need you for nothing. But you know what I mean? I don't need you for nothing. Yeah, on some real shit, Jay Flint. Like, they'll start some shit and call me out my name and then act like I'm doing, like, oh yeah, I'm dick. Bro, what I need from you, bro? Be real. What the fuck do I need from you? Like, nah, man. Just admit. Just admit. You like me, don't you? Just admit it, man. Cause I don't even be in a conversations. Like, how the fuck am I coming up? I don't be in nothing. I don't even talk to the people that you talk to. How the fuck is my name coming up? You know what I mean? I get sent screenshots all the time of people throwing shade at me that I don't even shit. You know what I mean? I sent the homie Des from the West. I sent her a link. You know what I mean? She got some shit that she feel that she need to talk. I'm just letting you know you could do it on your phone. If you don't want to do it on a laptop, you could do it on your phone, and you could use it on your phone. You can use on mobile to talk some shits. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, they be attacking me, man. I don't know why. I don't be in nothing. Like, I don't be even be talking to the people that they be talking to. So I'm like, how am I coming up? How am I a subject? You know what I mean? Giancarlo, what's your opinion on Martin from the face-off? Well, if you're Sandor Martin, you don't have an unblemished record to protect. You don't have a title that somebody can take away from you. If you're Sandor Martin, you're in familiar territory because you've been given an assignment like this before, where you were opposite the ring a fighter that is more well-known than you are, that has more marquee value than you do, and you're being underestimated. That was the Mikey Garcia fight. So Sandor Martin is going to have that steely reserve because he's not in unfamiliar territory. You know, once again, he's opposite the ring a popular fighter, more popular than he is, and he's being underestimated by the odds makers. I said myself that stylistically, it's a more intriguing matchup than the Pedraza fight, because we know that Pedraza, he's a good fighter, but he's on the back nine. You know, he's on the back nine, whereas Sandor Martin is riding high. He's hit his stride. He's feeling good. He has a career best win. He had a fight in Spain, and he looked sharp in the fight. So para él no tiene razón. Él no tiene caso para estar nervioso. There's nothing to be nervous about. If you're Sandor, there's nothing to be nervous about. Si yo pierdo esta pelea, eso no es nada. Pero si Teofimo pierde esta pelea, ay, él se jodió. Él se jodió. He's done at the top level si él pierde esta pelea. So hay más presión para Teofimo que hay presión para Sandor Martin. He doesn't have an O to protect. I don't know what it is, bro. It's something that they do on Twitter, bro. de verdad, Jay Flint, I don't really know. Like, I don't. Like, I'm insulated. Like, I'm focused on what I'm doing and what I'm doing. And if you talk to any Capricorn, whether you talking about Base the Kid or Des from the West that will be joining us shortly, we got tunnel vision, bro. We just focus on what we need to focus on and what we need to do. Anything that's in the peripheral, we don't really be worried about that shit, because that's like, well, what the fuck that got to do with me? Nothing. I ain't then. Tunnel vision. You know what I mean? I ain't worried about none of that. And I'm not knocking them. But it's like, yo, y'all talking shit about me. You gonna play this back and you gonna see I ain't say nothing bad about nobody aside from y'all keep taking shots at me. I don't know y'all. I don't know what y'all be doing. I don't know what y'all be doing. You know what I mean? It is true. That's a good point, Lobby. That's a good point. That Tio doesn't have an O to protect either. But you know what it is? He's the one who has a fight plan. He's the one who, after this fight, they want to put him in there with the winner of Taylor versus Catterall. He does have that to lose. La presión is more on Teofimo, if you think about it, than it is on Sandor. If Sandor loses, it's inconsequential. But if Teofimo loses, do you feel psychologically that he's going to be in a good place? Because look at what losing to George Kambosos did to him. I don't feel that the pressure is on Sandor as much as it's on Teofimo, because if you lose this thing, you're done at the top level, you know, that upper echelon level. You're just now getting acclimated to 140 pounds. You know what I mean? You're getting acclimated. This is only your second fight as a 140-pound fighter. And yeah, you need to win, but not just win. You need to look good, because that'll show people that, like, yeah, I could hang up here, B. I'm not just some dude that moved up from 135. I'm good. You know what I mean? Damn, Slot and Kellner already has Sandor Martin winning 8-4. We going to see. Look, it's a good fight. It's a very good fight. It's a very good fight. I'm looking forward to it. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of things going on in the world of boxing aside from the people that keep insulting me for some reason. Worried about my fingers. Worried about what I be talking about. Like, man, just admit, man, y'all look up to me. Maybe that's why I'm the bad guy. Because I don't be bothering nobody, man. I don't be bothering nobody, dog. For real. I be in my own lane, in my own space, just not bothering nobody. You know what I mean? And every 10 seconds, somebody will send me a screenshot. Yo, this person said this about you. Yo, this person over here talking about your fingers. Like, they talking about my fingers? Why? Fuck is you worried about my fingers for? The fuck? It's all type of goofy shit like that. Like, there's like, yo, somebody literally took a picture of your finger. Like, why would you take what kind of OCD ass shit is you on that you taking a picture of my fingers? Like, really? Nah, man. Just admit. You guys admire me. You think I'm a nice person. I am. But I'm going to laugh. Keep talking about me. There was this guy. His name is Bora Bora. You know, he pops up. He says, hey, bitch, dick-eating bitch. He said, you don't get mentioned like this. And he pulled up a boxing scene article that had, I think it had like chicken talks in it. And I'm like, Brody, I got mentioned on Boxing Scene months ago in July. I broke the story that Baumgartner versus Mayer was going to be on the same show as Shields versus Marshall. I don't toot my own horn off of that I got a blurb on Boxing Scene. But you coming at me crazy because of somebody else. It's like, fam, like, I don't know if you want to play the catch-up game, then you got some catching up to do, because I've been had that blurb. I don't even think that's the only one. I remember another one, but it wasn't Boxing Scene. What the fuck is so mad at me for? Like, man, I don't even fucking be around y'all motherfuckers. How you that mad? Get some pussy, man. Sandor will stop Tio. Yup, I said so. Also, do you want to? Do you want to go to Dubai, baby? Do you want to go to Dubai? Yo, like, I think they need to fucking go to Dubai and chill the fuck out. Stop getting mad at me, bro. I ain't doing nothing. You want to go to Dubai, baby? You know what I'm saying? Like, they fucking terrible over there, bro. He's a liar. Ask them. What did I lie about? What did I lie about? What? He's a liar. Man, if you don't get the fuck off my dick, B. Like, man, what the fuck? Yeah, yo, I already see my signal is typed low. I'm going to try to correct that. I really think that they're jealous because you talked. Oh, I mean, yeah, but they can do that too. I mean, the thing is, you know what the thing is? I don't know. Maybe it boils down to the psychology of the individual that if you want to, I've always been of the opinion, well, if you want to do something, you're going to do it. So if you want to do something in particular, just go fucking do it and stop worrying about other people. And I'm like, the fuck they so mad at me for? I don't even be around y'all motherfuckers, man. And then I'll be thinking, you know what it is? It's fun to them. Because low-key, I guess it is a little bit fun to have a rival or like an enemy or something like that. There's a competitiveness that actually is healthy because it keeps you on your toes. It helps you raise your game, a little bit of competition. It's just that where you might look at me as being some kind of competition, I don't look at you that way. You like, I don't. Like, no, we're not. I know that in their own mind, it may seem that way, but in my mind, no, I just do what I normally do, which is whatever I want. That's all I'm doing, whatever I want, whenever I feel like doing it. If I feel like doing something, then I will do it. If I don't, then I will do something else. You know what I mean? Yeah, if Tio loses, man, that could be catastrophic. Like, and that's the difference that if Sandor Martin loses, he can rebound. He will still be a solid fighter and alguien que está maduro. He's more mature than Teofimo. But if Teofimo were to lose, how many of you guys out there, how well do you think he would take it if he lost? If he loses to Sandor? So I do feel that, yeah, I mean, at least to me, it seems a little bit obvious that there's more pressure on Teofimo this weekend than there is on Sandor Martin because he's brought there as an opponent. He's not somebody that the promoter is pushing, right? The promotion is not in favor of Sandor Martin. So, I mean, yeah, the pressure's on Tio to deliver. It's not on Sandor to deliver, you know? Yeah, they fucking mad at me, bro. They fucking furious, bro. Yeah, shout out to D-Styles. I don't think Teofimo know what he was. Yeah, I don't think Teofimo speaks Spanish like that, bro. Y si tú no hablas español mucho, ¿verdad? And then you talking to a Spaniard, imagínate. He might as well be speaking Chinese, bro. You're not going to know what the fuck he's saying. Yeah, man, they're fucking mad at me. And I only bring it up because it keeps being brought to my attention. That's the only reason I bring it up. The last 2 weeks have been different people from the other side of boxing Twitter accusing me of having burner accounts, which I don't have. I've never had a burner account. I've only ever had one Twitter account at a time. I don't have burners. That's for kids. They'll say, oh, he's a liar. Well, what did I lie about, bro? What? It's for little kids, bro. Fuck out of here with that shit. They mad at me, man. They fucking mad. I ain't do shit. You know what I mean? Didn't do shit. Fucking furious, yo. But I'm kind of flattered by it. They're like, damn, you can't do your thing without talking about me? The fuck, yo? Do your thing, B. Whatever you doing, you fucking do that shit, okay? To the best of your ability, you do that shit. You ain't got to talk about me to do that shit. Jesus. And it just evolves into this infantile game where it starts being, where at least to me, it's like, listen, if you don't mention me, I won't mention you, but you're the ones that are mentioning me every so often. That's the truth. I'm not a liar. I don't lie. You guys keep bringing me up. And that's the only reason I'm addressing it, because you keep bringing me up. You don't need to use my name for shit. If not for that, it wouldn't. You wouldn't even be a discussion. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, when it comes to this weekend, it's a jam-packed weekend full of fights and full of action. You have Lopez versus Martin. You have Crawford versus Avanesian on Black Prime. You have Warrington versus Lopez, Bridges versus O'Connell, Courtney versus Rueg. So it's going to be a nice, fun-filled weekend of people beating the shit out of each other. And I'm looking forward to that. I love those kinds of weekends because the Matchroom show segues right into the Top Rank show. By the time the Matchroom show is over, the Top Rank show will be starting. So I very much am looking forward to that. Manny Pacquiao also has an exhibition match in Seoul, South Korea. He's got an exhibition match coming up. Cenicia Estrada is going to be there. Ryan Garcia is going to be there. I think that she already flew out to South Korea. I think Ryan is about to. There's that. You have to wonder, is Manny Pacquiao experiencing money problems? Because a lot of people feel that they see how many exhibition matches Floyd is having. They think they're like, yo, you broke or something? Why you keep fighting in exhibitions? And now here come Manny, and Manny about to fight in an exhibition. And it's against like a self-defense instructor or some shit like that. And it's like, I don't jump to that conclusion right away because Manny has not been fighting in a bunch of exhibition matches. In fact, I think this is the first one. Whereas Floyd, he already fought, the main Mac thing, which wasn't really an exhibition, but it was a circus fight. He fought in the main Mac thing, the kickboxer guy. He fought his sparring partner. He fought Logan Paul, and he just fought KY Jelly little brother. I don't know his name. I don't know his little brother name. Deli. He fought Deli. So it's like, damn, fam, that's mad fights. After you retired officially as a pugilist, that's a lot of activity for somebody that's supposed to be retired. So, people draw the conclusions they draw. It don't help that 50 Cent said he think that Floyd is broke. It don't help that Jake Paul and Logan Paul, they saying the same shit. That adds to the rumors that you got these people saying that, yeah, yo, this dude is broke. And then you tack on that lawsuit from 2 months ago, a ticketing scam, where the dude basically said that Floyd and Al and a couple of other people scammed him out of $5 million. We talked about it here on the channel. It's just a lot of little things there that make you feel like, yo, you strapped for cash or something? Like, why you not? With the money that you made, we should not never even see you again with the money because if it's me, you never would have seen me again. Like, if I made all that, no, bro, I would have, I'd disappear, bro. I'd turn into Casa Soze. You're not never going to see me again, bro. Like, whatever happened to Julius? He got all that money and he made this island where he gets a blowjob every hour. You know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't see me, dog. Fuck that. Fuck I look like. I mean, you got all that goddamn money to be seeing you so goddamn much. It just gives off the impression that you haven't grown from what you were doing, that you haven't grown because you're still pretty much doing the same thing. It's just that it's exhibition matches, but it's still practically the same thing. Hopkins was unified champion at 46. Floyd is not trying to take it there. That's a very valid point that, Hopkins fought well into his early 50s when he got beat by Joe Smith Jr. But yeah, Floyd didn't take a lot of punishment in the ring. I don't think he owes the sport anything. But it's like you practically keeping a busier schedule than what is supposed to be active fighters. It's active fighters that don't fight as often as you do. DKU is a farce. Yeah, that's the guy that Manny supposed to be doing the exhibition thing with DKU. And I think he's like a karate instructor or some shit like that. Like a self-defense instructor. Ain't nobody gonna buy that shit, bro. You know, I think that shit is a pay-per-view too. Unless I'm mistaken, that shit is a pay-per-view. It's on Triller. It's on Triller, and it's going down in South Korea though. It's in South Korea, the exhibition. And it's like, man, ain't nobody trying to buy that shit, bro. Like, motherfuckers still mad Crawford shit is on pay-per-view. I wonder how Floyd would fare if he actually did return. Well, he's been out of competition for too long, so he would need tune-up fights. He would need several, and even then, 46 is 46, bro. Yo, that's facts, B. Garrett. That's facts. Floyd is the busiest PBC fighter in the roster because he fighting more often than everybody, bro. He fighting often, and it just gives you the impression that are you fighting this often because you need money? Because by all rights, with the money that you made from Canelo and the money that you made from Manny and the added money that you made with Conor, you know, you should be able to just comfortably retire to where you don't even have to do anything anymore. And there's a feeling that like maybe the overhead, it's really the rumors that 50 started though. It's really the rumors that he started because he started those rumors that Floyd was broke. That started 2-3 years ago. He started that shit. And, you know, people just chalked it up to 50 is petty. He say a lot of shit. He always got some shit to say. But then the Logan Paul shit happened. Like, oh, why you ain't pay me? Da-da-da-da-da. Jake started saying, yo, this dude is broke. He didn't pay my brother. So, you know, that's really where it's at. That's really where that feeling come from. Floyd's the only PBC fighter fighting more than once, and he's allowed to go to other platforms. What about Floyd wanting to buy an NBA team? Yeah, but did he buy the NBA team, bro? That's my question. That's not even an argument. I'm asking, did he buy that team? Because I did hear about that 2 months ago that he wanted to buy an NBA team. I also heard that he bought some property in Midtown Manhattan. I heard that too. But still, still. Floyd needs the money to maintain that head transplant. Shout out to that's the rumor. Yeah, man. I don't know. 50 started that shit though, bro. That I do know. 50's the one that started that shit. He the one that came out saying, yeah, the overhead of Floyd lifestyle, he ain't got no money left and he broke. That's what he said. Javier raises a good point. Javier says, why is Floyd still boxing working? Oscar doesn't work anymore. Floyd must be broke. I mean, that's it's true that all Oscar do is sniff coke, grab fake tits, and sell dick pills, cashier dick pills, because he got a dick pill joint that he's selling. And Oscar don't really be, aside from residual revenue, you don't even really see him doing nothing like that. He was supposed to have an exhibition, but he called it off, which I understand. Like, bro, I'm 40-something years old. I don't feel like doing shit. Fuck out of here. I'm 40-something years old, B. I ain't trying to do shit. There was a real estate thing. I mean, there's just been a lot of rumors and a lot of things that kind of give you the impression that something could be going on. But the rumors really started with 50, though. 50 started that shit. He the one that started that shit. Jules, have you seen Oscar lately? He looked more healthy than... Yo, facts, B. I'm telling you, all Oscar doing is sniffing lines of coke, grabbing fake titties, and selling dick pills. And he is chilling. And he occasionally wild out on Twitter. Yo, that's what my homies used to call me too, Radamez from Juice. They said I look like Radamez. I don't look like Radamez, B. I don't fucking look like Radamez. Fuck out of here. That's literally what motherfuckers used to say too. You look just like Radamez from Juice. I don't look like no motherfucking Radamez, B. Yeah, man. Yo, I mean, I don't know. You know, when you see what's supposed to be a retired fighter that active, I don't know, B. It does look a certain way that you keep a busier schedule than young fighters that are supposed to be active. Like, think about it. Floyd saw action more times this year, longer than Jaron Boots Ennis. Jared Ennis only fought for 4 minutes. You know what I mean? Jared Ennis only fought for 4 minutes. Fucking Floyd had like 3 exhibition matches. Or 2 or some shit. I don't know, man. I'm waiting for this signal to get stronger. I don't know why this signal is so weak. Because it's choppy and it's laggy. Let me see. It's choppy and it's laggy. I don't know what's going on with the signal. Y'all give me a second. Give me a second. Let me check this signal, see if I can switch it. Bluetooth. Yeah, it says the signal's strong. So why is this so weak? I don't know. I'm checking the signal right now. It says the signal is strong, but I don't know. Yeah, it says the signal's strong, so I don't know what's going on. Let me see. Maybe that one's stronger. Yep, that one's a little stronger. Yeah, why is my Wi-Fi so weak? I don't know what's going on with this fucking router, man. My Wi-Fi is acting all crazy all of a sudden. Coming through loud and very clear. Yeah, like the sound is, but the picture is choppy. That's what they told me. And I'm looking at the signal on StreamYard, and I'm like, yo, for whatever reason, the StreamYard signal looks very weak. Floyd seems to literally be fighting for his life lately. I don't know, man. I'm about to post the link in the chitty chat, and y'all could jump on while I wait for this signal to start acting right. I don't understand what's going on with my signal. I'm literally right next to my router. I don't understand. And yeah, yo, y'all jump on. Y'all jump on. Tell me what it do. And yeah, man, they keep talking about me over there, man. That shit is crazy. Country.
What up, what up?
Yo,
they keep talking about me over there, yo.
Hey, Jules, remember, Floyd has been in some serious legal trouble lately, and also, too, it's a combination of that. He was probably not smart with his money, and he's probably having to pay people back. And remember, Al might be using some of his money, too, and he ain't got it back from Al. So there's probably a combination of things that threw his ass in the hole.
I mean, I've always thought that Floyd doesn't have access to all of the money he made, and that's the only way you can reconcile those amounts of money going away. Because I'm like, well, what could he have spent it on? Like, it's a lot of money. What could he have spent it on? Didn't they say?
Don't he got like a strip club outside of? Don't he got like a strip club in Vegas too?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he got.
I mean, doesn't he live a very lavish? He lives a lavish lifestyle, does he not? I mean,
yeah, he does.
Anytime you're going to see a bunch of people having a cap and say stuff. I mean, if you look at like the Tank situation, everybody was making it pretend like everything was fine. What happens? Tank just quietly disappears. And what did Floyd do? What did LRB do? They cap. So if they're willing to cap there, if they're willing to cap at the PBC, then why would they not be willing to cap about the money they're making too?
That's a fair point.
By the way, Jules, I got a quick question. Do you have a Wi-Fi extender?
No, I don't have a Wi-Fi extender. No, actually, I do, but I don't use it. I do have one. T-Mobile sent me one, but I don't use it.
Okay, I mean, you should honestly install one. It's very beneficial to have. It'll make your Wi-Fi signal a lot stronger, and and make your browser a lot faster. So
I dig it. Yeah. Liam Rockwell says Canelo #1, Ryder #2. Yet some are saying it's trash. Yeah, I mean, you know how I feel about that, Liam. At the end of the day, Demetrius was supposed to fight Zach Parker. You pulled out of that. You know what I mean? So
Zach Ryder took the opportunity, didn't care what he was going to get paid, and he fucking won.
Yeah, and he won. So it's like it's a dead issue to me. It's like, fam, like you got a history of fucking up. You know what I mean? You got a history of fucking up.
This is why Demetrius is like, he's not completely innocent in what happened. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's what I'm maintaining. Like, yeah, some shit is not his fault. Certain shit is not his fault. I think Golovkin swerved him. I think that.
Oh, no doubt. No question.
But you swerved Lara. When they asked you about Lara, what you said? Oh, that's the last resort. He's boring. So you could turn around and get mad when motherfuckers say that about you. It's like, come on, B. Come on, B.
Who did he just swerve in recent memory? We just talked about him.
Motherfucking Yanni back.
And Zach.
Motherfucking Yanni back and Zach. Two dudes that just look like doo-doo. They literally just look like doo-doo, both of them.
And one of them lost. Shit.
Yep.
Don't make no sense. Now we got Luis G on the panel. We got Luis G. What's rocking with you?
What's up, Luis?
Hey, what's up? I just started using this app and all that, so I don't know if the audio is completely well. Using my phone, normally would use a computer, but I'm gonna work with whatever I have.
You sound
How's
like
everybody doing?
It works, bro. I can hear you loud and clear, dog.
We got you.
Hear you
Yeah,
loud and clear.
good.
So we got this Sandor Martin fight, and like I said, Sandbag is not under no pressure. If Sandbag lose, what that mean to him? He'll go back to Spain, fight another guy. But if Teofimo lose, yeah.
Sandor's in a great position because he was never supposed to win that Garcia fight.
No, he wasn't.
That put him on the map.
Yep.
Once he won that, he's playing on house money now, so it doesn't matter what that guy does. He keeps winning, he's going to keep getting bigger paychecks. He lose, everybody expects him to.
Yeah. I mean, he's not under any pressure. He doesn't have an O to protect. He doesn't have a belt to lose. Once again, he's being used and treated as the away fighter, the opponent. So he's not in unfamiliar territory. Like, no, he cooling. He cool with that. Whereas if Teofimo lose, I said it before, I don't think psychologically he could handle another loss. I don't. I mean, we all know what's going to happen if he does lose. I'm expecting the same thing that we got in the George loss, except even worse. But I was telling my friend was talking about this morning. We discussed it, and I said the way he's going to learn his lesson is he's got to get knocked out. Hopefully, then he'll probably see the light after that. Finally, no, I don't even think him getting knocked out would, because he's prideful. He's prideful. He's very prideful.
Yeah.
And it's like, look, you thought that Matchroom set you up. Why would Matchroom set you up?
When he said that, I'm like, he's lost his fucking mind. When he said that, like, oh my god,
he got to set you up, bro. Like what?
I mean, Eddie's even on record saying, like, in the documentary, he said Eddie's intention was to sign him. He was going to try to sign T.O. But then George upset the apple cart. It's like, fuck, now I can't do that.
I don't know. Teofimo is just bugging, and I just feel that because he's still young and because he's still on the rebound, psychologically, he's not equipped to take another loss. He's not. And if he were to lose, that would be terrible for him. It would be worse for T.O. to lose than it would be for Sandor. Sandor could turn around. He could fight the loser of Catterall versus Taylor. He ain't even got to fight the winner. He could fight the loser of that fight.
Depending on how he looks.
Yeah.
The biggest problem with all this is that T.O. didn't learn anything from that first loss. That's why it's likely he's going to have another one.
No, absolutely nothing at all.
Let me go to Shelton. I didn't ask Shelton about this. Shelton, what you think about the Sandor Martin Teofimo Lopez fight? What you think about that fight?
I think it's going to be tougher than people think. I mean, I think that Sandor Martin is a quality opponent. I shit on Mikey Garcia a lot because if we're going to be completely honest, Mikey Garcia fought a whole lot of guys that we never heard of. But he did beat Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia was at one time on the pound-for-pound list. Sandor Martin is not a slouch. Sandor Martin can box. And if we know anything, we know that guys with volume and an engine kind of give T.O. problems. Yep. We've seen that. So I think T.O. should win. He's younger, stronger. He should win. And in fact, that Sandor Martin does have 42 fights. He's only lost twice. He's never been knocked out, but he does have 42 fights. T.O.'s younger, stronger. He should win. But I just don't think it's going to be as easy as people think it's going to be.
This is why, first of all, this is a good example of why people should not keep calling anybody outside the United States a Euro bum or he's washed or trash. Just because you don't know the name of a boxer because you're a casual boxing fan does not mean that they don't have a skill set or talent or the capacity to beat American fighters.
Yeah, I mean, that's an antiquated American sentiment that speaks to a time when, there was a time when it was a regular occurrence for European fighters to get their ass beat. But those days are long gone, bro. Like, real, like,
100%.
Yeah, they done got better.
Yeah,
Like,
and it's kind of obvious that they got better. Like, if you've been watching the Olympics, if you've been watching professional boxing, it's plenty of Europeans that's beating the shit out of people. So if you still, Euro bum, all right, bro, you need to update your motherfucking vocabulary because Euro bum, that shit don't exist no more. It should be a merit bum. Because being real, look at who Andre about to fight.
Hey, Jules, can I have an old man moment right quick?
Go ahead.
I was just sitting here today. I've been chilling today, been watching some old fights, right? I got caught up watching Muhammad Ali versus Cleveland Big Cat Williams.
That's one of his
1966
highlights.
at the Houston Astrodome.
That's one of his highlight fights.
That was the what's my name?
I just watched this man moving backwards, throw a 10-punch combination and drop this cat.
You know, but this is the thing about Ali. Ali was not fundamentally sound. He would pull back in straight lines, and if he wasn't so fast and athletic, then he would pay the price for that. But because he was so fucking quick, he could pull back in a straight line and come right back at you with some shit because he was so quick.
Well, like I tell people all the time, now the guy that fought from 1970 to 1979, these guys today might have a little action at that dude. But the dude that fought from 1960 to 1967, you got no shot.
I'm gonna say this because what I notice about these guys is they don't have the volume that those fighters had. They don't have the engine or the durability. These guys, after 6 rounds, they be ready to go. After 6 rounds.
Exactly.
So and the other thing is Cassius was a 15-round fighter, not a 12-round fighter. He was a 15-round fighter.
Yeah.
So you can put these Furies and Wilders and put their ass in there. With that guy from 61 to 67, it's gonna be a short night.
Yeah,
I think so. And I go back to I think it was Customato. No, it wasn't Customato. I think it was Angelo Dundee that he always talked about the pocket size heavyweight. And it's like, if you talking about these big, slow, gangly guys, a pocket size heavyweight would give them all kind of problems because he's quicker, but he still hit like a heavyweight, still weigh what a heavyweight weighs, still has heavyweight power, but it get in your shit. A lot of these guys are slow. A lot of them.
Well, look, let's go to today. Ali's prime weight was what? Anywhere from 217 to 221, right? That's when this is prime.
Mm-hmm.
What did Usyk weigh for those fucking Joshua fights?
220 something.
221.
221.
221.
Look at what he did. You see
what I'm saying?
It's like they got taller, but they didn't get more durable because you tell me the motherfucking Frazier trilogy, that was 45 rounds of damage. 45 rounds, 3 15-round fights with a
Ken Norton, a 12 and 2 15s. Ken Norton, a 12 and 2 15s.
And they wasn't letting up. They was battling and going off all 15 rounds, man.
Well, 600-700 punches a fight, 800 punches a fight. These guys are throwing. Come on, man.
Now we can say that, Fury got an engine and Usyk got an engine. Yeah, but they was fighting 15 rounds on the Reggie. That was normal to them. That was normal. 15 rounds. That ain't shit. Look, when Joe Louis knocked out Billy Conn, that was in the 13th round, bro. That's in the 13th round. Now, if that would have been today's standards, Billy Conn would have won a decision because he was up on the card. But fuck that. This is a 15-round fight, B. Knocked his little ass right out in the 13th round.
Oh, don't forget, Julius. Back in Joe Louis's time, you're talking about 6-ounce gloves too. 6-ounce gloves.
This is my theory, Shelton. I believe that as a species, humans became weaker over time. That even though George Foreman was smaller, he's stronger than these guys, bro.
Of course.
The dog had to get his 2 cents in too.
Because the dog knows I'm right. He knows I'm right. if you give me I'll pick a 6'3" prime George Foreman. Just give me the one that fought Jimmy Young. Fuck that shit. Or give me the one that fought Ron Lyle. Give me that Foreman. He'll beat the shit out these guys, bro. You crazy? They don't go at it like that no more. Like, no, they do not go at it like that no more, bro. You crazy? Those was knockdown, drag out brawls back then. Whereas
ain't none of these dudes beating the Ron Lyle. Ain't none of these dudes beating the Jimmy Young or George Foreman. None of them cats. They're not beating it. I don't think some of these dudes. I know they're not beating Ernie Shavers.
They're not beating Ernie Shavers. That's what I was just gonna say. They ain't beating Ernie Shavers.
They're not beating Larry Holmes, bro. They're not beating Larry.
Oh, come on. That's upper echelon. Ain't none of these just fucking Larry Holmes.
That jab alone, and people should go watch them old Larry Holmes. That jab was water, bro. Like, it just flowed. It's not all tight and stiff and static the way motherfuckers throw a jab now. That shit just flowed. Or if that jab alone, he could stop a lot of shit from happening. And because he's smaller than these guys, he'll be quicker than these guys. I'm like, nah, son. The heavyweights got bigger, but did they get better? No, no about that. About that. Yeah, man, fucking shit. So yeah, I got a lot of people talking about me, Sheldon. I know you don't be on Twitter like that, but I got all type of people on Twitter talking about me and shit, man. Want my attention.
Yes, she is. Why? Why are they talking about you?
I don't know, bro. I literally do not know. I be minding my business.
I mean, because when I see you talk boxing, but you don't talk about people.
There you go. And the only time the conversation will devolve into that is if people keep talking about me. Because you know what happens? I'll get sent a bunch of screenshots like, yo, this person said this. I'm like, why? What?
I say it all the time. I say, dude, you can't go maybe like 2 to 5 minutes while I have with a motherfucker try to fight you on Twitter, man.
Real.
Jules, they will make shit up just to attack you over. There will be nothing, and they'll make it up just so they can attack you.
It has to do with the fact. It has to do with the fact that you're not falling in line with what they want you to fall in line with. Your thought process doesn't involve some sort of bias, and since you don't have a biased outlook on something, then you're quote unquote not correct.
Yeah, well then they just need to stick to the chicken broth with that shit. Then you know what I mean? If that's how they feel at the chicken broth, just stick to that. You know what I mean? But here on Ring IQ Boxing Talks, we mostly talk boxing. So who's picking Sandor to win this weekend? Because I know somebody is.
I'm picking.
You picking Sandor, bro?
Yeah, I got a free bet from MGM. I just had to do it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I see the odds. The odds is too good, bro. That's too good, bro.
I'm thinking about like how's Teofimo gonna go about this? He could either go, all out like trying to beat him up, but I don't think that's gonna go. Or he could try going slow, but I don't even think that's gonna work either. Because like I've seen how Crawford tried to go at him.
That's a very good subject though. How is the fight gonna look?
He's gonna take the same approach he did the last fight. He's gonna try to wear the guy down again and get the knockout or a winning decision like he did that last fight when he moved up in weight.
Gampas don't got no feet, bro. So if you take the same approach for this fight that you did for the last fight, I guess you're trying to lose.
I'm telling you, I think that's what he's gonna do because I think he's gun shy. He almost pulled like an AJ. I think he's afraid to engage like he did with Kambosos early on and get that early flash knockdown. So I think he'll be a little safer, at least for the first 4 rounds, than maybe start pouring it on.
I don't think Sandor has that type of knockout power, but like he could stun him like multiple times. I feel like he'll stun him.
But there's a difference. There's a difference between knowing a guy has it and being afraid. Because I think like with AJ's career, in my opinion, went off the rails after he got knocked down by Ruiz. After he lost the Ruiz fight, I think it was pretty much a wrap for AJ because even though he can handle those shots, I think he's afraid to get hit now. And I think that's kind of what might happen with Teo. Because Teo looked a little tentative in place his last fight.
He doesn't do that like running through people and smiling stuff anymore.
Let's say this. Teofimo Lopez is not a volume puncher. He's not a guy who goes out there, throws 5, 6, 7 punches. He's a sharpshooter. He looked to land a counter, hurt you, and then he'll jump on you. And with this guy don't stand in one spot. He gonna move like his bread and butter is basically movement, not power, not necessarily power. Got some countering ability, but his whole shit is movement. So if you got a guy who's already economic, that really only throws 1 or 2 punches at a time most of the time, and then you got another guy who's moving all the time, that shit look like it's gonna be frustrating. That's kind of what I see. That like, yeah, this might be frustrating for Tio. You could pick him to win for other reasons, like, well, he is the house fighter, or as long as he's busier in the round, even if he doesn't land, but as long as he's busier in the round and coming forward, they may give him the rounds for that. You know what I mean? There's other reasons that you could pick Tio. It's just hard to imagine that he gonna beat this guy like a drum. If he beat him like a drum, I'll be impressed. But it's hard to imagine that that's how it's gonna go.
I think it also brings questions. It makes you think about like Sandor and all that, because I think this is also a step up for him in an equal way to at least, see how well he'll take someone that supposedly could have the power to hurt him.
Ooh, that's a good take. Off the Ropes Boxing says it's going to look like Martinez con Carmona. Who seen Martinez Carmona last week? Ray Martinez and the Spanish guy he was fighting?
That was a boring-ass fight.
I'll be honest, I didn't see that.
Yeah, we were watching that on the live. That fight was boring as shit.
Yeah, I went to smoke like 3 times, bro. I went to smoke like 3 times.
But Cardona wasn't he just like running around the ring like Rigo?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Do
He
you
gave
think
up after like the 4th round, basically.
Do you think that could happen this weekend, though?
I think Tio's going to get frustrated for sure. I think Tio will definitely get frustrated because Sandor was moving around quite a bit, even with Garcia. But he was really, really effective in fighting in pockets. So, yeah, I can definitely see that happening.
Leo is the only guy I heard give like a real strategy that if Teofimo just holds the center of the ring and waits for Sandor to come to him, basically forces Sandor to engage by not chasing him, that he can probably land some big punches that way. But it's like, is Tio really going to do that, though? He going to hold the center of the ring, not going to chase the guy.
You got to hope the mindset is there for it.
Very well. Tio doesn't deal with frustration very well, so I think he's going to get frustrated if that does start happening.
I mean, look at what happened in the Cambosos fight, bro. He was throwing some really just dumbass shit that got him countered. And the fear is that if he gets frustrated in the round or if he feels like it's slipping away, you know what I mean? He's not necessarily the most stable guy, that out of frustration, he might start making mistakes.
With all due respect, when your father comes into the ring jumping around like a maniac wearing a gold Bud Light suit, that doesn't really scream a lack of frustration, if you know what I mean.
Well, I mean, his dad's wearing the alcoholic suit of power, so that can be.
So you saying that's actually a plus, not a minus? Is that what you're
alcoholic suit of power.
Oh, I got to pull a picture out in case y'all forgot. He's wearing the gold Bud Light suit.
Let me ask you this question. Do you think if Tio Jr. was to wear the alcoholic suit of power prior to entering the ring, that he would be drunk enough or he would be so numbed up enough that he would feel no pain through the first 6 rounds?
I told you, as soon as you put that suit on, your blood alcohol levels shoot up to 1,000,000, B. As soon as you put that suit, it's like the Goku suit. Like that orange shit that Goku wear, that's that suit, bro, for Tio Senior. He put that shit on, he already drunk. He don't even got to drink. The suit make him drunk.
So I understand correctly, your body is completely numb and you're in almost a rage sense. Is that what it is? What happens when you wear the thing?
I mean, that's what it says in the manual.
Okay. So Junior should be trying to wear this then prior to coming in the ring if he wants to be numb prior to fighting.
If he's smart, he'll wear it. If he's smart, but he's not that smart. Look, he had a really nice jacket. He had a nice leather bomber with a Sherlin collar. It was really nice. I'm going to look for it. I'm going to buy it. I ain't going front. Tio know how to dress.
This was when he was not speaking Spanish properly, we're understanding, correct?
Well, he didn't look like he understood Sandor. Like he really looked like he didn't understand what the man was saying.
He did look confused. Well, but again, we had this discussion. In his defense, though, when you're speaking of Vos Nosotros Spanish from España, it's a little bit different, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, but your Spanish already got to be weak. Like if I speak to a Spaniard, I'm going to know what they saying. I'm going to know. Right. It's just, but if your Spanish is already type weak, it's going to sound like he from China or some shit. Like you're not going to know what the fuck he's saying. And I was looking at his face while Sandor was talking. I'm like, yo, you don't even know what the fuck he's saying.
You know why I agree with you, and I'll tell you why I agree with you. Because usually when someone's talking shit to you, no matter what the language is, your face isn't gonna have like that constipated, I gotta take a shit in my pants almost look. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was like
that,
going to hug him. He's grabbing his arms like,
yeah, like they were buddies. Like he was about to pat him down to go through a metal detector or something. It was really strange. So yeah, I think he had a look of like just pure confusion. Like this dude's talking shit, but I don't really know what he's saying to me talking shit type of look.
Taking chest punches from ogres during fight week. Yeah, hopefully he learned his lesson about that. I think that's you heard what they said he had. They said he had a tear in his esophagus and air ended up somewhere in his chest where it was not supposed to be. Well, letting a 300-pound man punch you in the chest might have a lot to do with that. Like, I think those two things are interconnected.
But it's a step beyond that. A 300-man who's also an athlete. We're not just talking about some schlub off a bar stool.
A power lifter.
Exactly. So it's even worse.
Now, aside from the Teofimo stuff, word around the campfire is that Vince McMahon and the WWE want to endeavor into the sport of boxing. How do you envision that going?
Bad. 100% bad.
Why? They got money.
I don't know because Vince knows how to put on a promotion.
They're going to try.
He knows how to put on a promotion.
But
Wait a minute. He knows how to put on a promotion.
Like the WWE and have drama and shit talking like in
No.
That doesn't necessarily mean that the fights are going to be scripted. Now, we're not saying that it's full on WWE script, regalia characters. I'm taking it as, okay, we have money to play. Let's sign some fighters. Let's do some fights. That's how I'm thinking.
Look what
But here's the thing. You got to look at this. You got to be honest. Hold on, fellas. You got to look at this.
My bad.
Vince McMahon is a billionaire, which tells you one thing. He's pretty fucking smart, right? Not a dummy. Vince understands that boxing is not wrestling. You cannot promote boxing the way you promote wrestling. But what you do have is the money to pay a site fee, to secure a venue, and the fact that with your WWE run of 35 plus years, you have the cachet to tell people that, hey, if I put an event on in this venue, you will make some money. I know how to promote.
See, I see avenues where it could work. If you have boxing by way of the WWE Sports, you could call it, right? WWE Sports. You have the megaphone with the wrestling for the boxing because you can advertise the boxing. Millions of people watch the wrestling. It's not even a question if WWE is successful. That shit has only gotten bigger over time to where they got a movie studio. They got merchandise that actually sells because everybody got merchandise these days. YouTubers have merchandise, but they shit actually sells. Everything they touch has been turned
to gold.
Right? But the question is there room for boxing? And I'm going to assume this is in America. I'm going to assume, is there room for another boxing outfit in the American boxing scene? Who you going to sign, bro? You going to sign Jesse Hart? Steven Nelson? You going to sign, bro? Broner? Andre? No, you can't sign Andre. He's with the PBC now. Who you going to sign, bro? Arnold Kagai? Because you can have the money. You can have the money and you can afford to take the hits, financially, because to make money, you got to stake money. You got to risk money. But who are you going to sign that's going to carry the banner? What fights are you going to put on that are going to carry the brand? Because there are already well-established fights and a well-established, more or less, infrastructure that we know what we want to see. So what can you offer us that somebody else don't already have?
I'm telling you, Jules, he's good. Look what he did with that football league, man. He's gonna make it kind of whacked. I'm telling you. I mean, he may be smart, he may have money, but he's gonna do something kind of whack.
But that league is coming back this year.
What about steel chairs instead of gloves?
No, that's not gonna work.
But my question is, do you guys envision what? Like a Harlem Globetrotters kind of boxing deal to where, look, it's not really boxing. It's WWE, but with boxing gloves. Or is it a legitimate
I'll tell you what I see.
I see a lot of guys in this sport who have contracts. They're signed to promoters, and those contracts are coming up for renewal. A lot of these guys are getting out of contracts. And if I got some money for a decent name guy, mid-level guy, or a top-level guy who's coming out of a contract and doesn't want to re-sign with A. Bob, B. Eddie, or C. the PBC, I have another option that can pay you what they were going to pay you, or probably more.
They need to sign. If they're going to do it, they got to sign Canelo right out of the gate. They got to get him for a fight. First thing out of the gate, Canelo.
Not necessarily, because Canelo can go anywhere. Not necessarily. But what I'm saying is,
you need more than just. But you do need more than just one or two. You need a stable, though. You do. You need a stable.
And I think they can get it because look, how many fights does Fury have left with Top Rank?
That's true. That's true. I don't even know, but it
not
has
many.
Not many. You right. You're right about that. And he already has a relationship with them. He already did the Saudi Arabian Pearl thing. He went over there, so that's true.
Yeah.
Well, I'll put it to you this way: if I'm wrong, I stand corrected. But I just think it's going to be some kind of silliness coming out of it.
No, it's not. I don't think so because those people are smart over there. Those people are making money. They make making more money than boxing is making right now. I'll say
that's true. That's whatever they touch.
If they can bring improvement, then I welcome them because boxing needs improvement right now.
But boxing is also a boys' club. It's not just about the money. Like, look, when DAZN debuted in America, DAZN had plenty of money, and they did sign some fighters. They did well for themselves, but there was still friction. You couldn't get Javante over there. You couldn't get Charlo over there. There was other guys you couldn't get. It's still a boys' club in the sense that there's people that try to make it hard for you.
That's why I said guys that are coming up where their contracts are coming up and they got renewals coming in, and some of these guys may not want to sign these guys back, or the guys that have the contracts coming up don't like the offers that they're getting.
Even the dog isn't agreeing with it, man.
The dog doesn't get it. I hear how the dog feel about it, Shelton. Yeah. The dog don't like that idea, bro.
He doesn't. The dog don't like that idea, but the dog don't have a say in this matter because the dog ain't talking now.
Rachel said, "What up, yo?" Shelton. Rachel said, "What up?"
Hey, Rach, what's going on, dude? But yeah, it's more than money,
Shelton. It's more than money, though. It's more than just having money. You have to have the materials, and you do have to understand. Okay, it's promoters that's in the biz that they don't seem to get what we want as consumers. So how will Vince McMahon be ahead of them in terms of boxing? Like, what do you know that these established promoters don't know? What shows can you put on that will get eyes to your show?
Well, see, what will help Vince is the fact that in today's climate of boxing, right, a lot of these dudes ain't in this shit for legacy no more. A lot of these dudes is just in this shit to get paid. And if Vince can make you an offer that you can't refuse, what you gonna do?
That's a good theory. That's a good theory. But I feel like, all right, first and foremost, if the WWE were to try to debut in America, right? Because I don't think they're thinking about debuting in fucking Australia, right? They must be talking about doing fights in America. All right, when you look at the American boxing scene right now as it is, do you see a lot of people spending a lot of money?
No.
For boxing? No. I see people in Australia spending money. I definitely see people in the UK. I see them. But in America, is there really room for another major promotional outfit in their stable of fighters? Being a boxing fan is expensive, bro. I'm about to buy the Crawford fight. No, I ain't gonna watch it.
Right. Oh my God. But see, now here's the thing you gotta look at, right? You gotta also look at this. The PBC got how many fighters over there? 200 and what?
Yeah, that's what they say. I don't even know if it's 200, but that is what they say. 200, over 200.
Now, do you think all them dudes is eating?
No.
You don't think them dudes want to eat?
I got a question for you, Shelton. Do you think them dudes have the autonomy to accept offers from another promotional outfit?
I don't know. I don't think so. But here's the thing, though. if I ain't making no money with you anyway, what the fuck do I got to lose? If I ain't got shit, how am I lose shit?
See, this is my thing. Right now, there may not be boxing in the next Olympics. So you're going to have a crop of young fighters that are probably going to go pro early because they don't have an Olympics to fight in. If the WWE has an avenue to break into boxing, I would say that's their best bet. Get them while they're young, groom them, and turn them into stars. Because I do admit, they have the megaphone by way of the WWE. You can promote boxing matches to your wrestling fans, and more people gonna know about them than the average shit, because you already have a very successful business model with the WWE.
Yes.
But you need the talent. You need the talent.
Right. And like I was saying, with like that PBC thing, you got 200 fighters over there, all of them ain't eating. Are they allowed the autonomy to sign with other promotions? Well, shit, I ain't making no money with you anyway. So what the fuck I got to lose?
That's a fair point, but who we talking about, bro? Hugo Centennial? Who we talking about? Because you got to be able to then take that fighter and do something for them that did not already happen at the PBC.
Oh, so to some of them guys, what has happened at the PBC? Not a goddamn thing. You haven't even heard of these dudes.
Now this is what I think. It just dawned on me in all my Capricornian excellence. If I'm Vince, I don't start from scratch. I go to my man Oscar.
Yes.
I go to my man Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar, work with me, bro. Let me in on the action, and we'll do your shows next to our shows. That residual viewership will trickle over to your shows, and let's build some boxing. If I'm him, I don't want to start over. I don't want to bake the pie from scratch. I'm going to go to somebody. Let's do some business.
And I do have my own network, Oscar.
Yo, they really have the WWE network. They really have that. They really have that, though. So I'm like, you got the platform. You got the money. You got the megaphone. As far as means, you have all of that covered. What you really need, you don't need to go out and start finding talent. You need a liaison. That's what you really need. And if you could get like an Oscar De La Hoya, because look at what happened to Triller, bro. Look at they tried. Triller tried, and
they got booted out. They got shut the door shut in their face.
Yep.
Rachel says, but most of these guys do not have a minimum of how many fights per year they are required by contract. I personally think you cannot go after fighters that are with another outfit on the premise that you're going to undercut already established promoters. What you can do is jump into bed with a promoter that already has an outfit and the situation. Now, that could be the PBC also. It could be because the PBC, they had fighters fighting on Showtime and fighters fighting on Fox. So if you got some money, you can make some things happen. You know what I mean?
Right. But they got their own network, so you can come over here and fight.
Exactly.
If you don't get a deal from Showtime or Fox, which Fox ain't giving you no more deals. Fox is done with you.
Yeah, Fox is done. That's the word around the campfire. That Fox
they ain't fucking with you.
Renew. They're not going to renew. And I can't say I blame them.
Right.
But when you look at the stable, see, this is what I would do. I go to Al Heyman, like, Al, let's work. I get Isaac Cruz and Rey Mysterio to do like a tag team match. Isaac Cruz, Rey Mysterio versus Errol Spence and somebody over there. I don't know the wrestlers like that. You know what I mean? And with that, like I could see it working, but don't start from scratch. Instead, make relationships, network.
Yeah.
Get a liaison to the sport.
Or not to go that far as you went, Jules, have like an Isaac Cruz or Errol Spence or some of the dudes in the crowd. Just come to our show.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like we have unified welterweight champion Errol Spence here, and then he go to SummerSlam and Hulk Hogan high fives him, and Stone Cold Steve Austin gives him like another high five, some shit. You know what I'm saying? Because they have the megaphone. That's established. They have the megaphone to advertise fights to a very large audience of millions.
Right.
Shit, Isaac Cruz and Rey Mysterio sounds like a great idea. The more I think about it, like, bro, that shit would be epic, bro. Rey Mysterio.
That'd probably be more money. That'd be more money than Isaac Cruz is making in the ring.
Basics. Fighting Yuri Gamboa. You can make it work. You can make it work. But like I said, I see that it's kind of like if you go to a different country. Well, you don't just go it alone. You need a guide. You need a guide to show you, like, okay, well, this is this and this is that. So if you're going into a new business, a new infrastructure that you really don't know, you need a liaison more than you need a stable. The stable will come, but what you need is a liaison. You even need a Golden Boy Promotions, because I heard something. I heard that they contract with the Zone might be up. I heard that, and I'm like, see, that would be ideal for Vince. Work with Oscar. Oscar will teach you the ropes, and you'll bankroll his fights, and he will have more resources to do more shows and sign more fighters and develop more fighters, which then turns out to be more money.
Facts. You got the right idea, Jules. I hope they listen.
You know,
Would you be surprised?
You know, I sell cocaine and cocaine accessories. I'm being killed, goddamn. I sell cocaine and cocaine accessories. Rachel says, hey, I can get Nonito and Animal Batista. That's what I'm saying, Nonito and Batista. That's another idea. For those that don't know, Batista's from the Philippines. For those that don't know. You know what I
There
mean?
we go, Rachel. See, now there we go. Now you thinking, Rachel.
You mean big old Batista?
Yes, bro. He from the Philippines. I think he had Filipino, if not all Filipino, bro.
Wow, now that I didn't know.
I'm telling you, if you have like a Capricornian mind, like mine, you see what I mean? What type of ideas? It could really, like, I could really see Rey Mysterio and Isaac Cruz versus Batista and Nonito Donaire. That could work, bro. Like, you could do that. Crossover boxing wrestling, yes, you could do that. Because for God's sake, they got Peter Guns. They got Peter Guns doing exhibition matches, bro. It's like, for that, yo, you can make a lot of shit work, bro. I'm just saying.
If you go back in the day, who was the first person to do the boxing versus wrestling crossover? Do you remember, Drew?
Muhammad Ali.
Versus Antonio Inoki. Am I right?
Inoki was kicking the shit out of his legs too. B, I remember that. Kicking the shit out of his legs.
So it has been done. And they made a boatload of money doing it.
Yo, I heard. You know what I heard? I heard that Ali made more money from that crossover fight than any of his boxing matches.
Wow,
I heard that.
Inoki
I heard
was on
that.
his back the whole time too. He would not stand up with Ali because he knew.
Yeah, bro. Like, don't try it, bro. Don't try it. He's gonna two-piece you like that. That's the best two-piece in the history of two-pieces.
He had a cold two-piece, didn't he?
The only two-piece historically that's fucking with Ali's is Larry's. That's the only two-piece that's fucking with Ali's. If we're gonna be real, like in the battle of the jabs, the greatest jabbers, I'm gonna just stick to heavyweight because it's too much to analyze all them different weight classes. It's between Ali, Larry Holmes, Lennox Lewis.
Yeah, Lennox Lewis had a sledgehammer. Well, you got to wait. Don't forget about Sonny. Big Bad Sonny had a hell of a jab.
I knew you was gonna bring him up, but Sonny's thing about his jab was the size of his hands. That's what it was. That he had huge hands. So when he hit you with the jab, it might as well be a right hand because his hands are so goddamn big. Yeah, man. Those are the
facts.
So the top jabbers we could say is between Ali and Larry. Could be number 1A, number 1B, right? You got to put Lennox Lewis in there because he had a great jab after he went to sledgehammer jab. You got to put Sonny. You also got to put Vlad. I know.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like the jab. I know a lot of people don't like the jab and grab. I know that, but it worked, and it worked for a very long time. It worked.
Jules,
how you gonna deny 21 title defenses, bro? 21.
Exactly. You can't argue with results. Go ahead.
Did you know that George Foreman was Sonny Liston's protege?
Yeah, I knew that. There's pictures of them together. I knew that.
Yeah, Sonny trained him, man. That's who taught George how to be intimidating.
I wonder who would have won if you put them in a time machine.
Now this was this was said by George Foreman. He said he never feared anything in his life. The only man he ever feared was Sonny Liston. So he was afraid of Sonny.
All right, that's all right. Fear is good in a fight. Fear is good. You could use fear. You remember the speech from Rocky V?
Yeah, it makes you dangerous.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a great motivator.
But he's on to some shit, though. Fear is good. Fear gives you something to prepare for. Fear keeps you sharp. If you're not afraid and you don't take the guy serious, what happened? You end up like Teofimo.
Hey, look, the champ said that. If you remember, Ali said that. He asked you, you're afraid in your fights? Of course I'm afraid. If you ain't afraid, you're stupid.
Yep.
And what was Ali, Shelton? What was he? You know what he was. Know what he was.
The greatest of all time.
And what
The
else?
best.
And what else?
Capricorn.
Fucking
Capricorn.
right.
Capricorn.
Fucking right.
Capricorn.
Fucking right. Fucking right. So y'all know the Capricornian wisdom. That's not some shit I made up this year. That shit is real, B. Shit is real, right? Now, fear is a motivator, and fear is good for you. Fear helps you prepare better than if you're not afraid. Because if you're not afraid, you're not going to take shit seriously, and you're not going to prepare. Fear keeps you sharp. Keeps you sharp. That is why pride comes just before the fall, ladies and gentlemen. Comes just before the fall. So I could see, depending on how they go about it, if they use an already established promotional outfit that is in the market for a broadcast partner, and there's more than one, there's actually, like, in other words, WWE could go to DeBella. WWE could go to Marv Nation, smaller promotional outfits that are locally based and bankroll their fights as a means to come to understand the business. It doesn't even have to be a big outfit like a PBC or a big outfit like a Golden Boy, but they need a liaison, and that's what I see. If you get yourself a liaison, somebody to help you navigate this landscape and tell you what's what, it could work. So I'm going to ask Rachel. Rachel, what do you think about...
No, Nito wanted to press the link.
No. Yeah, I thought it was a great conversation piece when it comes down to fear, because everybody has fears, you know, and when people start running away from fears, they are even more fearful. And for me, growing up, I was always fearful, you know, because I was always bullied. I was always made fun of, and then my pop put me up in there in the ring to turn me into a real man, supposedly, right? Because everybody started making fun of me and bullying me and all that stuff, and I would come home crying, and he didn't like it. So the first fight when I came in the ring, man, I was so scared. I pissed on my pants. I was that scared. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And you know, but the moment I got hit is when I found out that I have another trigger. So you never find out until you go beyond that fear, because everybody has fear. You know, right now I know how to control my fear because it comes from thoughts. It comes from thoughts of being fearful of what can happen to you. You know, when you start to learn how to control that thought, that it doesn't really truly exist, is when you get over the fear. You get what I'm saying?
There's a quote that addresses that. I'm not sure if it's from Lao Tzu or Confucius, but it's just true. And it's that those who live in the past live in regret. Those who live in the future live in fear. But those who live in the moment, oh, they chilling. They good. Because that's where you got to be.
They're living life. They're living life. You know what? They're it's like when kids, when my boys are growing up, right? You know, if they want something, they'll enjoy the moment. They're laughing, they're crying, they're whatever it is, right? They're enjoying whatever it is that's happening. And then for us, we get past that. We don't enjoy the moment to savor. I mean, it's like me, right? I keep winning fights, and then when you lose a fight, you start to realize that, man, I took those for granted. You know what I'm saying? So, but when it comes down to that, and this is something I learned in the last fight, is when you have too much of everything, it's a bad thing for you. Like, for instance, I was too confident. Going in the ring, I was too confident. There was no fear in me. You know, there was no thought about it. And what happened was I got caught with something that I shouldn't have got caught. But if I was in the middle of fear and courage, then I can go back and forth, meaning that I can be very cautious at the same time. When I have the opportunity to kill, I'll go for the kill.
Fear is a good.
You know what I'm saying?
Fear is a good thing. It's not managing fear. It's not managing fear that's actually bad. Don't be afraid to try. Don't be afraid to fail. It's a cliche these days that you shouldn't be afraid to fail, but no, you shouldn't. Don't be afraid. Go ahead, fail.
No, but it's the truth. It's the truth, though. You know, it's the truth, though. It's like again, I wouldn't know that I was a good fighter if I didn't go inside that ring.
Exactly.
I would have not known because I pissed my damn pants. I was pissing in the fucking locker room. You know, I told my pops I didn't want to go in there no more. but he was like, no, you're gonna go in there. And so I went in there. The moment I got hit, I just wanted to kill the guy in front of me, the kid in front of me. I gave him 2 8 counts.
Damn.
You know.
Damn. You know what I mean?
And that was 45 days of training. My dad was like, I think you're ready. And I'm like, no, I'm not. You know. But that's what I'm saying, is that you'll never know if you are capable of something if you don't try, if you don't make that first step. And you never know an answer if you don't ask the question.
Yeah.
And you
Hey,
never
no-
learn
hey-
anything in life without failing. That's the
Hey,
only true
Nonito,
growth
you
in
know
life.
what?
is by
100%.
failing.
Hey, Nonito, you know what? Fail stands for first attempt in learning.
Yeah, man. It's good that, like, look, and I learned that through drawing. I learned that through drawing. When I was very young, there were characters that I was afraid to draw because I'm scared it's gonna come out bad, so I didn't try. And as I got older, look, I gotta draw the goddamn Superman thing, so I'm gonna draw it, and it'll come out trash. But I would, I'd fail and keep trying and keep trying and keep trying until I get better at it. Now I can draw it without looking at nothing. You know what I mean? You have to try, like anything else. You gotta shoot your shot. You gotta try. Yes, you're gonna fail. It's okay. Keep going.
Mom. Hey, so I'm gonna hold on real quick. I'm gonna show you something where Nonito. Sorry, my little. Of course, you guys know that right now. My boys are awake. You see that?
Let me see. I'm gonna pull it up right now.
Yeah.
Nonito freehanded that. That was the very first painting he ever did.
I had 2.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
One behind it.
that one and this one. But that, those are just the yin yang, the duality of things. I always look at both sides of things, which is the
Light and
the negative and the light and the dark, or the negative and the positive.
But he never, like, I would have never believed this was going to be his first painting because of the fact that it was, God, Jarrell must have been like 3 months old, maybe. And I said I wanted a Buddha painting in our, like, yoga room, like our meditation room. And I was like, oh, I'm looking at buying a couple pieces. And he's like, I'll paint one. And I was like, okay, whatever. And I was sleeping, like, in the living room, like, still breastfeeding, so I would never really sleep. And through the glass door, I'm watching him paint this.
Wow.
Well, he surprised you, didn't he?
Wow.
Oh yeah, and this is why we never do wine and paint nights. Okay, we never, we do not do wine. You know those dates where they give you wine and an instructor tells you, no, Nito brings his own brushes. That's not fair. And then it just never comes out good. So never fair. And we don't ever. Yeah. But we've gotten offered this painting because it's Nonito's very first painting so many times, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and Nonito won't let this one go. And yet it's in the garage.
No, he shouldn't. In all honesty, it's like, at least for me, I would hate when people would try to commission me to draw things for them, because it's not going to come out right. If I'm doing it because I want to do it, it's going to come out amazing.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And
if you commission me to do it, my heart is not in that, bro. It's not going to come out right.
You know why, though, Jules? Because that expectation, the pressure of the expectation is there. That's why.
Yep. And that's the thing is, sometimes, like, when you do something, it's you have to be authentic into yourself, but because you take that out of you when you want to do something for everybody else, there's an expectation that you got to show up, and with that expectation, it takes away the fun, and when it takes away the fun, it takes away the soul. When it takes away the soul, you're never gonna perform right.
And that's the same thing I always used to say. That a lot of my friends, they know I could draw real good, and they'll be like, "Yo, draw me this tattoo." I'm like, it's not gonna come out the way you want it. You know why? Because I don't care about that shit. You see what I mean? You want me to draw something a certain way, it's not coming from me. It's actually coming from you. You know what I mean? It's not coming from me, and because it's not coming from me, I don't really know what you want, and I don't know what you're going for, as opposed to me just drawing something that hits me like, oh, I just want to draw this, and I know what I want out of it. Art is supposed to be self-expression. So when you draw something,
Right.
that's you drawing that. But if you tell me, yo, draw Daredevil, you know, Spider something doing something, it's like, well, I don't really care about that. So it's not going to be right.
Well, and I think the thing about the artists that really truly get it to become, I guess, when they get past that mindset of what the others might expect, and so they just do it. You know, like a lot of my good friends of mine, they paint like crazy. They just do it. I'm like, it didn't really matter whether you like it or not, whether this is what you want, but this is what you're gonna get.
Yeah,
And I think
it's the same with everything, bro. Even music. Like I also make beats.
100%.
I also make
100%.
beats, and it's like, look, if I'm gonna spend 14 hours or 48 hours or maybe 2-3 weeks, it's cool, long as I'm satisfied at the end with what I made. It's not for nobody, it's for me. I'm making it the way that I would want it to sound, or the way that I would want it to be made. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And when you involve other people, well, it's not fun anymore. Not because it's not for me, it's really for you and the deadline that perhaps you have set for the dollar amount that you have given me. It's not fun anymore. It then becomes work.
Yep.
There's sorry to interrupt. There's a good example. There's a guy named Todd Marinovich. I don't know if you guys know who that is or not. Todd Marinovich was groomed very young to be a quarterback by his father.
For the Raiders.
And he ended up playing for USC, and then he ended up going to the NFL. But he failed fairly miserably at the NFL, and after that, he became a drug addict. And then he became an artist. And what he said later on is that he couldn't, even though he had the talent to be a great football player, because he did well in high school, he did well in college, and he had some success in the pros, is that it wasn't his dream. It was his father's
You talking
dream.
about
He was leaving
Marinovich,
that
right?
dream for somebody else. He couldn't do it.
Yeah, because they used to call him Todd Marijuanovich because of his.
But the point I'm saying is that if you're not living your own dream, if you're not doing what's for you, then you don't have the capacity to do it. You have to have the passion yourself.
Right.
Yeah, his dad was an average player. He played for the Raiders, but he only had like a 2-3 year career, and he lived his life vicariously through his son. Marinovich started lifting weights at like 10 or 11 years old, and he trained.
He was running drills at 12.
Yeah, and he became one of the number one high school quarterback. He became a great college quarterback at SC. He only played 1 year, but he was good at it. And they shot him to the Raiders, and that was the worst thing they could have done because they gave him what he never had, which was freedom.
Yep, and that's what I'm saying. He lived the
Gave him
passion
money
for
and freedom.
his father, not for himself.
Well, they got to make that choice, right? Like, for instance, with me, when I became a world champion the first time, 2007, that was it for me. I was like, Pops, I got what you want me to be. I'm done with boxing. And then I met my wife, Rach, and she asked me the question, why did I box? And why did I stay in boxing for such a long time? And I couldn't answer that question, you know? And then from that moment on, I was like, okay, let me try to answer that question. Really, if I do truly want to be boxing, or did I do it for everybody else? And, you know, and then in that moment that I was trying to answer that question, I became one of the top fighters, you know, top pound for pound, multi-division, you know, and I had to split myself from my pops. You know, we couldn't work together because it was like he just looked at me like I was a little boy. So it was really hard for me to get out and make that choice for myself, or understand it for me without being influenced by the person that always influenced me growing up.
I think I think we as adults deal with that in a lot of ways, like employment, going to college. It took for me to go to college to realize I don't want to go to college. There's nothing here for me. But I went because that's what I was expected to do. Like, you know,
right.
Smart guy, go to college. Like, all right, I'm gonna go, and I go, and I'm sitting here. It's 8:30 in the morning. The philosophy teacher's got a John Wayne movie. I'm like, bro, it's 8:30 in the morning. What is this? Why am I watching this?
You do look like you were good at math.
No, I've never been. Math has always been an abstract language to me. That's one thing that I was never good at. I'm good at everything other than math, or at least I was good at everything other than math. Anything else, science, history, yada yada yada. And I was in college, and I'm like, bro, I don't even want to do any of this stuff. It took for me to go to college to realize that you don't need to go to college to be in film, right? You just need to know what story you want to tell, and how to work the equipment. But there generally isn't, like, you don't need schooling to be a filmmaker. And if I would have known that when I was, 19, 20, I never would have went. Never
Hey,
would
Jules,
have.
I got a question for Nonito, if you don't mind.
Good.
Nonito, the analogy you made about having to separate from your father, do you see that needing to be done with any of the current boxers today and their fathers at all?
Well, they got to make that choice, you know. Like when the only reason I separated from my pop because he, you know, he had tough love, you know. Like when I wouldn't show up the way he wanted me to show up, he'll yell at me in front of everybody, smack me in front of everybody, you know, and just pretty much embarrass me so that I don't fuck up the next time, you know. But that was his way of showing his love for me to make me grow stronger, supposedly. And I couldn't do that. And I, you know, for once in my life, I said, no, Pops, I can't be with you no more, you know. And do I think that some parents, I mean, we've seen a few parents who are very into the kids and living their dreams through the kids. And I think that the fighter itself need to realize that for himself, need to step and allow himself to make that decision. Because if somebody is telling him to do that, or is being inspired by somebody, or at the same time he's being forced or in any way to do something, it's never gonna. He's gonna make that as an excuse of why things happen for the way it is. The thing about these guys is that and this is what I have been struggling for the longest time, was I never took ownership for all the things that I did, because I've always said, you know what, they always made a decision for me. And that's the same thing with all these cats, all these guys like Tio and all these guys, you know. I mean, they're great fighters, but they gotta, you know, not to disrespect their fathers, but they gotta voice themselves.
Can I ask a question, Nonito?
Yes, sir.
You know Sean and Kenny, right?
Which I mean, I know a lot of Seans, and I know a lot. Oh yeah, Porters.
What do you think about that relationship? Because there's a lot of things that have been said since the Crawford fight. What do you think of the relationship as far as you know those two guys?
Again, I'm not here to disrespect nobody, but I'm going to speak what I saw on what I see, right? When I'm around him, you know, his dad usually is the one talking. You know, you see Sean just kind of nod his head, but his pop's always like, see, I told you, you should do this, you should do that. You know, you see what Nonito's saying, you know, or Donaire is saying, you know, like he just kind of nod and all that stuff. But when I saw him by himself now, like in Acapulco, you know, he seems a little bit socially awkward in a sense, because he just doesn't know how to kind of fit in, because he's always kind of have that person to tell him where he should go, you know. And that's why, like, with him around, I mean, this is my personal opinion, of course, and you know, he can disagree when it comes down to it, but this is what I felt when he's around us, is, you know, he just kind of listen to, and he'll joke around here and there, but it's I don't know if it's force, or I don't know if it's just a feeling awkward energy from him when it comes down to just having a conversation from everybody, you know. And you know, and what I feel and what I've experienced around him is you know, his dad's always the one to speak for him, you know. And you don't teach a man to become a man when you're not allowing him to speak for himself.
Yeah.
I don't want to get personal, but I just had a follow-up question. Did your relationship, was everything okay with your father when you guys decided to split up from being professional?
I mean, we didn't talk for about 6 years until my son came out, you know, and then my wife was like, hey, we want to give you a chance to be with our family again. You know, hopefully we can make things work, and it did work. You know, he came to realize, to respect me as a man, that I made what I made now, you know, and who I am. I'm not that 10-year-old that he smacks around all over the place, you know. And that break that was it needed to happen. It needed to happen for him to realize that I'm my own man, that I'm gonna make my own decision. No disrespect to him, I do love him as my father, but I'm not gonna be some type of way, you know. For a long time, I had to fit the shoes of being a man, and then my wife and I would clash, because she's a strong woman, you know. She didn't want to be no she didn't want to be with a guy who's pussy out and just say yes to everybody, you know. And I learned how to say no.
I'm happy to hear that, man. Congratulations, champ. Glad to hear that thing got resolved for you.
I would say,
and that's the thing about life is that you can't fear the changes that's coming for you. If you need to change, because all those change will come to a fruition of what you want it to become. You know, like for instance, with me, with my dad, he got the biggest respect for me. I got the biggest respect for him. You know, but ultimately, it needed that dark part and that silence for him to really see who I am and for me to really see who he is. You know, and life is beautiful when you allow it to become beautiful.
That's the relationship of yin and yang. There has to be bad for there to be good. There has to be rain for the. That's what that is. That's literally what that is.
You need that.
Yes, sir.
I would say I like the dichotomy of George Kambosos' relationship with his father. They have a harmony about them. I saw an interview with George's father immediately after the Lopez fight, and it was different from what you see with Kenny, different from what you see with Teofimo Lopez Sr. He was just a dad that was gushing about his son. Like in that interview, right? Like my wife told me, yo, you know that Sophia punched a kid in the face, right? My daughter. She's like, yo, this kid called Sophia a name and she punched him in the face. I was so proud. And when I looked at when I looked at George's dad, I was like, yo, that's how I felt when Sophie punched that boy in the face. He's just a happy dad. He's not trying to steal his thunder. He's not trying to force him or mold him or anything like that. One of the stories that they said about George, which was interesting, is that they let him decide, do you want to box or do you want to play, I think it was rugby? And they let him decide for himself what is best for him. And I think they have a better working relationship than many of the father and son duos that I see in the sport, because some of it just looks outright toxic, you know, for the
and the thing about that is, you know, and I see that with my son, it's all in the place of love, man, because that's all you can give your son is supposed to be that, not to control him, you know. And granted, I'm not gonna bust my dad on it, is because that's how he grew up. Yeah. He grew up that way. He grew up in the streets. He literally in the streets. He was sleeping in the street. He didn't have a home. You know, he didn't have nothing. You know, and you know, at a very young age, because his father died. You know, and the only thing that he was taught was survival. And when he felt that it was out of the question, I mean, when I was growing up, I wanted to take music. I wanted to take art, you know, lessons and painting and all this other stuff. And he's like, no, that's a waste of time. You got to do this. You got to do that, you know. But because he was fearful that, it, you know, in his mind, it needs to be something that can create a job along the line, you know, in the future.
That's more or less why I went to college. People keep telling me you gotta go to college, yo. I'm like, man, go to college, man. Like, man.
By the way, Jules, could I ask Nonito a question?
Go ahead.
By the way, Lady Chan sends her love to the panel. I was just on the phone with her. Shout out to Lady Chan. And by the way, Champ, first two things. Shout out to San Leandro, where you're from. I'm going to work there later tonight. I work there. And also, I had you knocking out Casimiro if you fought him as well.
Oh, yeah. Nito, can I say so? That's one of the great regrets of my life as a boxing fan, because I was confident. The left hook, I know y'all cool now. You know, I know y'all cool now. I was waiting and I was praying. Woo! I can't wait for Nonito to knock. Casimiro was getting on my nerves, bro. And in that time,
that was most of us.
He was.
He was getting on like you ain't got to violate, homie. You're lucky that Casimiro. I said it 100 times on here. I'm like, you know what? Casimiro and Sean Gibbons is real lucky that Nonito is willing to give you this opportunity, because he could take his business elsewhere. He got the PC. He don't need y'all for nothing. He could go somewhere else and do what he want to do. So y'all don't mess this up. And what they do, they messed it up.
And Sean Gibbons was trying to catch hands though with us over at Mandalay Bay. So there's that.
Yeah. I mean, one reason I wanted you to Nonito for you to unify with him, because like if you did, you could have went into the Inoue fight and that would have been for undisputed.
Yep.
I mean,
you know, for every action, reaction, words, you know, there's a reaction to that. There's a ripple that comes out of it, you know, and maybe perhaps this is where it needed me to be, you know, and at this moment in time, it's allowing me to see where my flaws are, you know, and maybe perhaps this is where it needed me to be, you know, and at this moment in time, it's allowing me to see where my flaws are, you know, and maybe perhaps this is where it needed me to be, you know, and maybe perhaps this is where it needed me to be, you know, and maybe perhaps this is where it needed me to be, you know, and maybe perhaps this is where it needed me to be, you know, and maybe perhaps this is where it needed me to be, you know, and maybe perhaps this is where it needed me to be, you know, and maybe perhaps this is where it needed me to be, you know, and maybe perhaps this is where it needed me to be, you know, and maybe perhaps this is where it needed me to be, you know, and maybe perhaps this is where it needed me to be, you know, and maybe perhaps this is where it needed me to be, you know, and maybe perhaps this is where it needed me to be, you know, and maybe perhaps this is where it needed me to be, you know, and maybe perhaps this is where it needed me to be, you know, and are, you know, and I think that I'm becoming better as like, again, this is why I stepped into this conversation, is because I realized what my flaws was, you know, the confidence and the cautiousness, you know, that I was at my best is because I was in tune with the duality of fear and courage. I was in tune with that. And what happened was I was very cautious. I was able to see everything. But now, after being so experienced that I did, the without you know, it was like the sun just kept shining, that the moon never came up. You know, it just doesn't work right. You know, and so for me, I just was courageous enough, and I was just like, I didn't care too much about things because there was no cautiousness. So that's why it's beautiful to have duality in our lives, is because, you know what, people say, oh, you got to kill the ego. No, no, no. The ego is there to keep you on your toes.
Yes.
Doesn't mean if you have a little bit more too much ego, guess what? You're going to drown yourself in ego. You're going to drown yourself in depression when you can't handle it.
Exactly.
But you know what I'm saying? So what we have, we can never delete or take away. All we can do is harness it, you know, and have it work together.
All things in moderation. Like, you need the ego so you don't let people walk all over you, but you need fear to keep you on your toes, to keep you sharp. You need fear. And I think nobody expected, I know as a boxing fan, nobody expected that at the end of the World Boxing Super Series, everybody figured Inouye's going to make it to the end. They figured that. But they didn't think it was going to be you and him at the end of it.
Right.
I remember the whole thing. Like, I remember, and I'm not going to lie to you, Nonito. I don't like bullshitting people. He was going to get eliminated in the semifinal. I'm thinking, I think it was the Ryan Burnett fight. I remember Ryan Burnett. He was a unified champion, and I'm like, y'all. All right, look, he beat Ryan, but it's because Ryan hurt his back. Then you make it to the other part. I'm like, right. And then you make it to the Inouye fight. And I'm like, all right, Inouye probably going to splatter him. That's what I was saying.
Yeah. But champ, you went on to give his ass hell.
That's what I'm getting at. That nobody expected. I don't think anybody expected that the final would play out the way that it played out. They're like, nobody was expecting that fight. That was
wow. Fight of the year. Fight of the year for sure.
Great fight, man. It was
and you know, and in the second fight, and I think it's the biggest takeaway for me, because I'm glad that it happened that way, because I'm safe and healthy. I didn't get beat the hell out. You know, I got dropped, and I was gonna keep standing up. And I even told the referee, I'm like, man, I appreciate you stopping the fight because I ain't gonna stop. You know. But my realization is that is to confront my duality. You know, I've always kind of like, no, I've always been fearful growing up. I know how to control my fear. No, you don't need to control the fear. Just be cautious. When you put fear and courage all at the same time, it's like you're tipping a balance beam between each other, trying to make it. You know, that's how it's just gonna be. But when you allow things to just flow on one side, you'll never see what's coming to you. If it's all courage and no fear, you know, you'll never see things coming at you. And that's what happened to me.
Yeah,
now,
courage without fear is vanity, and vanity is toxic. Vanity is what leads you to underprepare. Fear is good. Fear is what makes you save money. Fear is what makes you prepare for a rainy day. Fear is a very good thing. It's the lack of action that is bad. That don't just be afraid, bro. Do something. Do something. If you're afraid,
you can say Mayweather was very confident, but he also had a lot of fear in him.
Oh, I mean,
he
was a defensively. Like, look, I know that people have their thing with Floyd, and I get that. But defensively, he's honest to God, one of the best. He's one of the best.
He's one of the best defensive fighters ever.
The way he would move in the pocket, that they talk about him like he was an outside fighter. And the reason I was even able to watch him, no, he wasn't an outside fighter. He was in the pocket. He just make you miss in the pocket. You know what I mean? He was defensive. He'd roll punches off the shoulder, parry, but he was in the pocket. Same like James Toney, in the pocket. And that's why I was able to watch him. And he was like, nah, if you go back and you watch some of his fights, like the Canelo fight and the Cotto fight and the Chico Corrales fight, there was some really damn good fights in there. So
those are very dangerous guys, you know, they're dangerous, you know, and the thing about it is something, again, what I realized is what I was missing this whole time, and what I've been trying to figure out for so many years was balancing between fear and courage, and I guess I need to get that shit off my head, in the last fight. But again, going back into the next one, I think that that mentality of, because I feel like I'm getting better as I'm aging, but the mentality was so different because of the courage. There was just too much of it, there's just too much balls, there's just too much guts.
Nito, do you feel that because you exceeded everybody's expectations in the first fight, that led to that mindset in the second fight? Because you exceeded everybody's expectations in the first one, that you did way better than everybody thought you would do, and it didn't stop there. You shared the ring with an unbeaten champion, you annihilated him. You shared the ring with an unbeaten up-and-comer in Raymar Caballo, you annihilated him. Do you feel that that's what led to that courage and that perhaps overconfidence ahead of the second Inoue fight?
I was confident, but at the same time, I think what limited me to this to the level of overconfidence was I never looked at fear or cautiousness, because like for me, yes, even though they did this, and I've always felt like I could beat all these guys. There was never a doubt in my mind, right? Even if everybody said you're gonna lose to this guy, but to me, it's like I know what I'm capable of. But there was a missing piece, and that was the duality of courage.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Look, man, I got the left hook knocking out Jason Maloney. That's what I had. That's what I said. I said it yesterday. If you hit him with that left hook, yeah, he ain't as young as he used to be. And we know people get old, but power is the last thing to go. And that left hook, I can see Jason Maloney going down. I can see it.
By the way, Nonito, like something else about pretty much, we all know Inouye's going to knock out Paul Butler next week. It's inevitable. But my question to you is that when he becomes undisputed, if he actually gave you another opportunity to fight him a third time, would you take it?
Hell yeah! I've been building my ass to get there because I know what I'm capable of, bro. Like, I'm getting so damn excited.
Hell yeah!
I got a question to lead up to that. What, because of obviously the disappointing outcome in the last fight, what do you think you would do different this time if you were to be able to get him back in the ring another time? What would you do different?
The difference is to what? Yeah. You got me. You just came in. Anyways, my bad. No. So what? I know you didn't like that fight, and I know you. We made a deal that. But anyway, let me answer that question. The thing that I would do different is follow the game plan. We had an amazing game plan. She put a great game plan, which was to box, which was to use timing. Inoue is fast. I'm fast. He might be faster than me in this time, but that timing to get him was our perfect opportunity. But again, positioning, where I was going to position like I did in the first fight that landed those punches. Imagine positioning myself and with cautiousness in it to move away every single time rather than staying in there and just keep pushing, move, throw that jab, set up. I mean, a lot of this stuff that we were working on was working in the sparring. It's just that I just came in there without fear and I just wanted to brawl. And that was, I didn't follow the game plan that she had put on a training camp. Yeah, go ahead, hold on.
Let me read these super chats.
Wait, Ring IQ, can I like address something in the comments?
Go ahead.
So it says, I hate to say it, but Nonito left his dad's wings to go under his wife's wing. I said what I said. So I'm going to let Nonito tell you who didn't show up to Japan.
Well, my dad had knee injury for the past 15 or 20 years. He never got surgery on it. And I told him, like, hey, Pops, I'm going to fight. I need you to be with me for this fight. It's my biggest fight with Inoue. I think I can knock him out. But I need you with me. And then for some odd reason, he just wanted to get his, he thought that he could get his knee surgery. He got his knee surgery. And then I told him, like, I hope you make it. So I was still very hopeful that he was gonna make it, and so going into the fight, I was still hopeful that he was gonna make it to Japan. I had asked him, and then that's why I didn't have nobody to warm me up in that fight in the first place, because I was so hopeful that he was gonna be there, because he was my biggest fight, and that was me just being that little kid that I want my pop to be there for my biggest fight that I thought I was gonna win, but there was a missing piece in that too.
Yeah, that probably had to affect the outcome for sure. I mean, emotionally, mentally, you needing your father there had to change the outcome for you.
But I'll say,
Well, I mean, I didn't really have somebody to warm me up. I didn't, I ended up trying to hire a Japanese guy to do the mitts for me, which we agreed on. And then when I was warming up, they wouldn't let the guy come in to the locker room, because he said it's going to be a shame for his family to support a Filipino rather than supporting a Japanese fellow.
Wow.
whoa.
So I was in shadow boxing.
That's Japan, man. That's just Japan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
100%. But they complied to me 3 weeks before that, and so I was like, okay, cool, because he was a good friend of mine, and he still is a friend of mine. It's just that I respect what he did, but at the same time, I fucked myself on that, because I was so hopeful on my biggest fight, and again, things happen because I did learn a lot from it. I learned a lot from it, so it brought me to work, because it's crazy because I do a lot of meditation. So my meditation is always I want to get to the best level of me, and in that meditation, I mean, you call it whatever people call it, but it led me to realize how it can be better, and that was to create the duality of the degree of my courage and fear, or fear and courage.
And the human body is called homeostasis. No excess of anything. Homeostasis. You need fear. You need courage. You need both. To be good, yes, you need both. Because if you're not afraid of anybody, you're going to be cavalier. You're not going to train. You're not going to prepare. You're not going to pay attention as much as you should. We've seen that backfire for a lot of fighters who perhaps they didn't take a guy seriously.
Mike Tyson, Buster Douglas.
Mike Tyson, Buster Douglas. He was very cavalier before the night of the fight. I heard he was doing all kinds of stuff in hotels.
Me too.
Well, I don't want to speak for everybody, but we all look forward to seeing you get back in the ring. We love you. You're a painter and you're a poet. You're one of the most exciting guys to watch.
Appreciate that, bro.
Yeah, it's the truth.
Now let me read these super chats for all this money people sending me. God bless you, champ. Huge fan of your work. That was Will.
Thank you.
That guy says great channel support always. I appreciate you, that guy. Mr. Julio says chicken adobo or pork adobo. Look, I love pork. I love
pork adobo for me. Pork adobo for me. You gotta put a little bit of fat in there.
Yeah,
the little fat. I mean, that makes it good. I mean, chicken is chicken, but they need to be fried chicken. That's it. Chicken for me has to be fried chicken.
This is the cosmos saying this, because I literally made pork chops 3 hours ago. I'm a pork chop. I love pork. I'm not gonna apologize for loving pork. I love pork, and I'm gonna keep loving it. Old Dirty says the Donaires TED Talks.
It's life, baby. It's life. We all experience things, and when we can share our experience to people, that's what it's all about. It's giving to the world.
Undefeated Journeyman says the left hook nonito landed on Arce. You must have been mad.
Nah, I'm always mad inside that ring. That's the thing is, it's that degree of being peaceful or a degree of being a killer. When you're in there, you got to learn how to do it. It's ironic because somehow it eludes me between fear and courage.
Yeah, you can't be nice in the ring.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. M.A. Bustamante says, hey, Flash, from one father to another, though we want better for our kids, would it be better for you if your kids went into boxing? P.S. I still show people that Montiel KO. That left hook is still deadly.
Oh, you jacked him up. I remember that. You messed him up.
Yeah, no. When it comes down to all of that, man, I mean, again, my father was he knew what he knew, and I gotta respect that, but I know better. I mean, he was a kind of father that ruled with an iron fist. For me, I want to rule with love. I want to rule with understanding. I want to rule where I give my children options and choices and freedom to be who they want to be.
Yeah. It's toxic to force or to impose the dreams of the parent into the child. Yeah, and it's a lot of it's just a lot of dichotomy like that between parents and boxing. You know, I see that, and I don't want to make it about nobody. You know what I mean? But we know what names. What names come to mind when we see this, and it's like, yo, you gotta let the kid shine, man. You can't keep stealing his thunder. Let him do his interview. Let him talk. Let him answer the questions. You know what I mean? You gotta let him be a man. If daddy always there, then he always gonna be a little boy. He always gonna be a little boy if his daddy always there.
Teofimo.
That's right.
You ain't had to say that, Jay. I ain't say that. You ain't had to say that. Yeah, it's a lot of things like that. All I'm saying is, look, hell, some of us, I don't know about y'all, but some of us, we didn't even know our dads. You feel me? And that loneliness, that being alone, it teaches you, like, yo, ain't nobody gonna do you no favors out here, but you got to do it on your own. All right, and that's what the father got to teach the son. And look, I'm your dad. It's gonna be one day I'm not here, and you got to figure this out for yourself. So while I'm here, I'm gonna let you do that. And if you make a mistake, I'll be here to help you. But I got to let you do that because one day I'm not gonna be here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey,
By the way,
George,
Nino, could I ask you another question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Two. Okay. I think I know the answers, but I just want to get you. I just want to see what they were from you. What was your toughest fight, and who was your toughest opponent?
I mean, the monster is definitely gonna be that one right there who takes it. You know, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, I've been around with so many fighters, but you know, the question would it be different if I was younger, or would it be different? You know, if you know, would it be the same either way? You know, but that's something I can't say, because what it is now is what's happened, and that's all I can say is that in this moment in time, in my experience, he is the toughest guy I've fought.
And you would still fight him a third time? Wow.
I have a question though,
man.
Wow.
Just trust me, man. With me, like, I always want to fight the best, but there is something that I just have this feeling within me that I know I'm capable of defeating him. That's the crazy thing, is that, you know what, I do feel that I was not at best, you know, not to take away anything for the man, you know, I do feel that, you know, I didn't get to warm up. I didn't get to do what I should be. When I go in the ring, I have this switch, and I gotta click that switch. When I get that click, I'm done. I'll just sit down and meditate, or I'm just ready to go. You know, I've never got that. You know, and I came in there really cold, and I got caught with something dumb, and you know, especially with all the learning that I've received from fighting him, I feel that again, with what I've truly experienced and what I need to do, and I got to test it all out, because I love to test things out anyway. So, but yeah, given the opportunity, that's what I'm working on, is aligning myself to that fight.
But I'll tell you what, Nonito, from the outside looking in, there's definitely no shame in that, because that dude is a monster.
Yes.
You chose to fight him again. You didn't have to. You chose. And I think that's something to be proud of. A lot of guys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't want that dude hitting me again. You know, I don't want him hitting me again.
That speaks volumes, because there's a lot of fighters out there who won't do that at all.
And we as consumers, we watch, you know, because we're big fans of the sport, obviously, we watch a lot of these stories. A lot of guys would not make that decision to fight someone like that again. You not only fought him again, you do it again if given the opportunity.
Well, the thing is, I want to test something different now. I want to try to test something different to see if I can beat him. You know, I'm like a mad scientist. I got to try something different to see if it works. You know, if the experiment works. That's just how I am. I'm not all about all this other stuff. I just, you know, the main goal is to beat him, but I want to try something, you know, and see how it works. You know, like for me, that's fun for me. You know, the first fight was incredible for me, because it was fun for me. Yes, we're getting busted here and there, but it was fun. You know, I got to see. The thing about what I love being inside of the ring, have some kind of fight like that where I'm pushed to the limit. You know, nobody's pushed to the limit, because we're so fearful to get pushed to that limit that we opt out before we even get there. And me being inside that ring with somebody who who's an incredible fighter, you get pushed to that limit. And when you get pushed to the limit, you see everything about you, and that's the beauty of life, is when you get to see the beauty about you.
Hey, Nonito, I got a question for you. In the fight with Ubali, when you destroyed him, did you think it was going to be as easy as it happened within 4 rounds, or did you think it was going to go longer?
Well, I knew that I have the power to end fights. We worked out really well in our preparation for that fight, and I wanted to see how he would fight, for me to really go in there and do what I planned to do. I didn't expect things to be that fast, but that's just how things go when everything else comes to a flow, like Inoue did to me. It could have been a very difficult fight, and it could have been a difficult fight if Ubali went to a different direction or whatever it may be, right? But the flow was flowing in my direction, and I was able to see it, and I followed the game plan. And yeah, you just never know when the fight's going to be easy. It looks tough on paper, but sometimes it might work in your favor, like the Dark Jr. fight. Nobody gave me anything to win, any chance to win that fight, but I saw his movement. We game planned for that fight, and I knew I was going to knock him out with the left hook.
What cracked me up is when you sat there and said he was annoying after the fight. You're like,
I'll tell you what, that fight, the Gaballo fight, I used both of them knockouts in the intro. They was that good. I put both of them in the intro because they was that good. Somebody sent me ringside footage of the knockout. I was like, oh my God, you know what I mean? It's a beautiful knockout. But I guess,
sorry to interrupt you. And who advised me to throw that body shot?
Rachel.
No, my kids was screaming in the stands. Papa, body shot. Now, if you look at the fight again, you can hear them say body shot. And I just threw it. Boom! I'm like, oh shit! I knocked it. But it was my kids. It was my kids. Body shot. Papa, body shot.
Nito, I was just about to say that because I saw that fight live. I remember I was at work. I was watching. I was rooting for you the whole time. And it's like, I noticed that he was very, very tricky. It's like, were you trying to land the left hook to the head and you could have, but then the adjustment you made to the body, like that was just that was genius. You know what I mean? Like I thought that was from you, but your kids, wow, bro.
Yeah, no, I mean we practice on it. Rach said they're gonna be prepared for your left hook, so you got to come up with something else, and that's what we were working on was the body shot. But I had forgotten about it because I'm so consumed with my left hook. And I'm just gonna keep trying it until my kids was like, Papa, body shot. And I'm like, oh shit, yeah, that's right. Boom, got him with that.
Nonito, quick question. What's the secret to a good left hook?
Balance and feeling your body to simultaneously trigger all the muscle at the same time. A lot of people don't know how to trigger the muscle at the same time. So they'll make so you'll see a lot of guys when they throw the left hook, they're just turning their knees and their hips, but they're not actually pushing with it. With me, I push through it and the power is there. But ultimately balance and of course the repetition for your body to simultaneously trigger those muscles at the same time when you're throwing it. One of the person I'm training right now this week and last week is Zhang Weili, the UFC champ. She is a beast, man, and she didn't know how to throw. I mean, she was always strong, but she didn't really know how to control or how to trigger those muscle when she's throwing the left hook. She's a strong woman, but now that I'm teaching her, she learned so fast. Excuse me.
Who do you think has the best
when
left
he
hook
threw
in
that
boxing right now?
Best left hook? Let's see here. I'm trying to think here.
Besides you, of course.
I mean, Canelo has a great left hook. It's similar to mine. The Monster's more of the right hand guy. He's strong on the left with the body, but he's more of a straight guy. Let me see who else. I'm trying to think, man.
I know one of the best left hooks I've ever seen is Miguel Cotto. That it was just one motion, boom, one
Boom.
motion.
Yeah.
Daniel Gill fight, boom, just one motion,
You know,
turning.
to me, if you go back there, I mean, one of my guys I learned from was Trinidad. You know, Trinidad left hook Trinidad.
Hey, wait a minute. We got to go back a little farther. Don't forget about Smoking Joe.
I mean, you're not gonna tell me
come
nothing
on,
about
yeah.
no. You're not gonna tell me nothing about no Smoking Joe. I just didn't want to have to go back that far. You're not gonna tell me
Like
nothing.
currently,
Yeah,
like current
yeah.
guys. It's current guys.
Listen, it's Smoking
Current boxing.
Smoking
Okay.
Joe had a great left hook. Tommy Morrison had a great left hook. He had a killer left hook. Right?
For me, Arguello brought that left hook part of me too. That Arguello left hook. You know, I mean, even De La Hoya had that left hook, the white left hook.
The explosive thin man.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Hey,
man.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Nonito, one of the guys in Castro wants to know, do you think Darchinyan punched above the weight class when you fought him? Like his power?
He had a heavy hand, but it didn't have the same effect as my punches or the monster's punches, which is it has a fast twitch behind it. You know, meaning that explosiveness. Excuse me. Darchinyan is a heavy-handed guy, you know, and he'll wear you down. He'll wear you down. He's kind of, I guess, somewhat similar to like a Triple G kind of guy, where they're just you know,
like accumulation of damage.
yeah, accumulation, because he never really rocked somebody out with one punch. You know, he was always like, I mean, he did, but it was a setup after getting punched a couple of times. You know, and I think that yeah, he was a heavy puncher, but he wasn't like a devastating punching guy.
Okay.
I have a question. How would you say, out of all the hard, because you fought a lot of guys that hit really fucking hard, how does Inouye's power compare to like Rigondeaux's?
Inoue had more of it's similar to my punches. Rigondeaux had half of what I do, which is the fast twitch. He had those fast twitch, but he pulls back because he goes into defense.
Yeah.
He could be so much stronger if he pushed like the monster and myself. But because he punches with so much speed, but he pulls back, that the damage is limited to an explosive punch, but not to a devastating punch.
I always kind of thought that because he's so defensively minded, he wants to get the hand back, so he's not really committing to the shot. And it looks more like the power is in the fact that it's a punch the person doesn't see, which, you know, those punches can take a guy out if you don't see them. But that doesn't mean that it's the heaviest shot, because it doesn't.
Rachel says, ask Nonito who taught Inouye the left hook.
Well, yeah, I did work with him a few years ago. I don't know, about 2013 or something like that. And I was preparing him for a fight with the guy I fought in New York. What's his name? Narvaez. You know, which knocked him out with the with the hook. You know, but yeah, it was the hook. It was the hook that I got him to, I guess, understand how to throw it, you know, how to sit on it.
And for those that don't know, because there's a lot of terminology like that, for those that don't understand what it means to sit on punches, can you elaborate about that for all the people in the chat? What does it mean when a fighter sits on their punches?
So I'm gonna give you a visual. You know how when you squat, right? When you squat,
right?
So when you squat and you push up to you know how when you're doing a squat with the bar or something, with the weights, right? And you push up and you just have that fast twitch to go back up, right? So instead of pushing up, you're using the hips to turn and pushing off with your toes, but you're bending so that you have leverage when you're punching. You know, a lot of guys they just sit back straight up, and they do have some power, you know, but when you sit on a punch, you have this leverage. Like I guess another vision would be like when you're tackling somebody. You know, if you're trying to tackle somebody straight up, you know, you're not gonna be as explosive or deadly as compared to you got the squat going and you just boom, you explode and you just take them out.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much what sitting down on the punches is you're putting all your weight to trigger those muscle, and when you release the punch, you know, you have all the weights into it.
Now there's a fight that we may or may not get. I love the fight, and I already kind of made up my mind who I like in the fight. It's Bivol and Better Beef. Now we know boxing's got a bunch of politics, so we don't know that we're ever going to get to see the fight. But if the fight were tomorrow, who would you put your money on?
Yeah, no need.
So this is what my explanation before the Canelo Bivol fight. I said Better Beef's gonna run him over. Bivol Zordo fight. Bivol was very masterful. Very masterful.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think that the way he boxed and the way he's going to use his boxing skills and the way he was sitting down this time
that's what I said, because he was sitting. I seen him. He was sitting on his punches.
Yes.
And pop him, then get out of there.
He was
and so boxer. I think that's I think that I got my money on Bivol because of the fact that he might go around him laterally, because you know Better Beef is a strong guy, and he's gonna push his way through. But if you get somebody who has a jab and he's gonna push you off with it, and he's gonna go around you, that might be the best option against a guy who just keeps pressing forward.
Yeah.
And Bivol is high on confidence right now. That goes
exactly.
But you know, it's not just. It's like, look, I think Artur is a great fighter. By the way, he's a great fighter. But my thing is, you know, he hasn't had somebody who can manage the distance like this. Like, this is really a guy who can really manage the distance. Like Joe's a strong puncher, great chin. But you see what got him caught. You just keep pushing forward. You left the jab out there. He came over the top with the right. So that's how he got. The Callum Johnson fight, well, you wanted to trade with Artur, and you got what trading with what that is. You know what I mean?
Yep, that's right.
You got what you got. With Beef,
that's right.
He's in and out. He's jabbing. He might sit on a punch. He might not. He might be on the balls of his feet. He might move.
That's right.
A lot of ways to just manage that distance. And Artur is going to be the one that has to try to close the gap on him. And I think Artur is a stronger puncher than Dimitri. Yes.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's got better legs than Dimitri.
No.
But I do think, Jules, he may have better feet.
Nah.
No way.
Now, this is what I saw in the Zordo fight.
Against what's the guy's name?
You talking about
Marcus Brown? Marcus Brown. I saw the feet against Marcus Brown. And I saw
don't do this. Don't do this. Don't. I'm gonna tell you what happened with Brown. Let me tell you what happened with Brown. Brown spent too much time moving lateral and too much time on the back foot. You're not giving Artur nothing to think about. At some point, you got to alternate. Pop him, alternate, then move. You just moving, and you making them chase you. You're not asserting yourself.
There's a difference in movement, right? There's a difference in boxing. So if somebody's just stepping back, guess what? They're going to just keep pressing forward until there's nothing else for you. But if you're a matador, you got a bull coming in and you're just going and using his momentum to go around to the side, going around to the other side, throwing that jab, just take him out of his feet. All of that stuff is a big it's a big key factor to beating somebody who just presses forward.
And that's what B-ball is.
Yeah, you can feint. You can use your jab. And one thing I truly saw that was masterful in Bivol was positioning his feet to throw or to move. People don't see it because they don't look at the feet. They only look at what's happening.
They only look at the torsos and the punches, and they don't look at the feet.
Right. So if you look at the fight, Bivol was the position that he put his feet when he was moving or when he was attacking was different. Or even, again, the position either opens up a straight right down the middle or Zordo just couldn't do nothing, because the position that Bivol put himself in was taking away a lot of offense from Zordo.
He did on Ito? He took away. Shelton, that's your mic, bro. he took away Zerto's leverage. That's what I saw. He'll get on him and get close to him. And we know Zerto is no good off the back foot. He is not that guy on the back foot. At his best, he coming forward and he's putting weight on his front foot. Bivol put him on his back foot and made him uncomfortable, which I was like, wow, dog. He putting pressure on the pressure guy. Normally, it's Zerto putting pressure. He putting pressure on the pressure guy. Beautiful.
Right, but because of that jab too, and the position that when he throws the jab, he goes underneath and past Zotto, and that made Zotto kind of weary, where he didn't really know his distance when it came down to that, because Bivol manipulated the distance.
Yeah.
Yep. And I mean, pretty much in that Zerto Bivol fight, we got the exact opposite of what we thought. Bivol did what we thought Zerto was going to do when it's hurt himself.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I thought what Zotto was going to do was just keep pressing on him and just smother his punches. And because if you look at Bivol, is if you don't give him that distance, I mean, he's such a wide puncher, but we saw it was very difficult to do, and that's why even though Beterbiev can do that by pressing forward and take away and the smother his punches, but we saw that Bivol is very masterful when it comes down to lateral movements.
That and I'm gonna say this too. I'm gonna say this about the Beterbiev fight, and I don't even know if we're gonna get it, to be honest, because of the politics. But what I see is Bivol punishing him with that jab, and he's going. I feel if they fight, it ain't just going to be on points. He's going to knock him out.
You think he'll stop him?
I think he stops him. I think he punishes him.
I don't doubt it.
He's going to be so tired from having to try to manage the distance and try to catch the guy while he's getting hit, and I think he goes out. I think he goes.
Well, I think the only reason for that to happen too is that the frustration of Beterbiev and just looking forward into it. Would be him reaching in, and getting desperate, where Bivol is being able to counter him, with great punching power. Because if you look at it, the way how we see it right now of him moving and all of that stuff, it'll come to a point where Beterbiev is going to reach in, he's going to open himself up, and get caught with something.
That's what I see. That I'm like, look, he's going to try to cut the ring off. Bivol has great feet, so you're not going to be able to pin him down. And if you do pin him down, he's going to pop you and he's going to get out of there. And Bivol's jab, it's not a tense jab. It's a very short jab that's hard to counter. It's not like what you saw with Joe. Joe whole arm was out there. So going over the top with the right, it was there for him. He was there for the taking. Bivol's jab is so quick. Like, nah, you can't counter this guy's jab, bro.
But the real question is that can Bivol take Beterbiev's punches? Because even grazing, he jacks people up. I mean,
but I think he can. I think he can.
No, I'm gonna tell you what. No, I'm gonna tell you the difference, country. The guys that he take out, with the exception of Marcus Brown, because he was the only one that was trying to move away from the action. But those other guys like Callum Johnson and Joe Smith, they were leaning into the punches, which is adding something to the punch because you coming forward. So he throwing his hands and you coming forward, it make it hurt that much more. With Bivol, he know how to move to where he either going to ride the punch or he not even going to be there for the punch.
You know what? I think that Canelo put a dent in Bivol's armor, his arm.
He did.
After the fight, he was complaining about it, and Canelo didn't hit him there too often. He was trying to hit him to the face and to the body, but Bivol has great, amazing defense. He puts up both his arms that are so long from his elbows.
Guard is very tight. It's hard. It's very tight and strong.
Yeah, from his elbows to his knuckle, the top of his knuckle, like he covers his whole face and his whole body. So, but Canelo did put a dent in his arm, so that's the same thing. What's his name? Beterbiev's a heavier puncher. Anything that lands is gonna hurt even Bivol's arms. And
okay, Javi, te voy a decir esto. Bivol no es estúpido. Él no va a pelear con Beterbiev la misma manera que él peleó con Canelo. With Canelo, I think he felt, look, I felt what he has. I can take some of it. If he gets a taste of Beterbiev's power, like, man, I can't even let this fucking guy hit me on the arms. This shit hurt. He's going to fight different. And remember that they're built different. Canelo is smaller. He doesn't take up as much space as Artur, and he doesn't cover as much ground. Artur does have feet. He may not have better feet than Bivol, but he does have feet. He can get to you. He'll be hard to get away from. You know what I mean? which is why you got to engage and disengage. But I see Bivol stopping him, bro. The more I think about it, I'm like, yo, if they do fight and he keep pumping out that jab and you just keep eating that jab late, you gonna fall. You gonna fall.
It's the best. It's the best fight in boxing right now. Not the most popular. That's Ryan and Tank, but it's probably the best fight.
I'll tell you what, I like Ryan's chances the more I think about that fight, but we'll see, man. We'll see. He has a good jab, man.
Nonito, just real quick, I know you answered this the other day, but there was a couple people that were asking just to find out what your choice was. Fury and Usyk, what was your choice again?
I gave it to Fury, you know, because he's just the bigger guy and he's smart, you know, and that just that length of him coming back, you know, if Usyk was a little bit bigger, it might have been a big difference, because I mean, if Joshua can land those big punch on him, you know, that rocked him in the later rounds, I mean, Fury, you know, can do that, and he's a very tricky guy as well. So I mean, for now, that's what I am giving Fury the edge on that, and you know, I'll probably look into all the fights and stuff like that, because I'm a huge fan of both.
I got a question. Hold up. Joshua Herrera asks, was there ever a time a fight with Pac-Man could have happened?
Nah, you know, he was always too big. He was always bigger than I was when it comes down to that. I mean, you know, when I was at 112, he was already at 126. He was fighting Libuada, you know, so he was always bigger than me. So, you know, that was it. I mean, I did spar with him though, and helped him out for that fight.
Trouble T Roy says, I'm late, but I'm gonna catch the playback. Everyone give the great almighty Al Heyman a big thanks for that.
Yes.
Thank you, Al Heyman.
I want to thank Al Heyman for this super chat. But yeah, I really I've always liked Bivol in that fight. I've always liked with Usyk. See, this is my thing, Nonito. I get that Fury is so much bigger and he can cover so much more ground than Usyk can, but Usyk is such a small target, and because he's a southpaw, he's gonna be moving to the right of Fury's orthodox jab. So it's hard for me to imagine that he's gonna land the punches on Usyk that he just landed on Chisora, or that he just landed on Dillian White, or even Wilder, because those guys stand on their whole foot. This guy spends the whole damn fight on the balls of his feet, and he doesn't really get tired. He can keep up that pace well into the damn 12th round. So it's just harder for me to say, yeah, I got Fury on size, when I'm like, Fury don't have better feet than this kid. He has more length. He has more odds.
100%. I mean, again, I'm such a huge fan of both guys, you know, especially Usyk in the WBSS. I mean, he did what he did. But I think Fury's going to go in there, push the jab into his face, pressure him, and just try to bully him, you know. And I think that's going to be a very different fight, because even if you get around him and you get that jab like how the Klitschko used to do it, or Lennox Lewis used to do it, you know, who, you know, plays with your vision, and at the same time, it's hard for you to move when somebody's head is right in front of you, like a stiff jab, you know, like a stiff one, like a football player. You know, I know that a lot of people, I know that the referee is not supposed to allow you to do that, but there's a lot of fighters that does that gets away with it, and a smart fighter gets away with it, you know. And I think that Fury is going to get away with that, and that's going to be a big thing for him, because he's going to push him. I think he's going to push him, and he's just going to go out there and try to put his weight into him, and his height, and that jab to put in his face, throw that uppercut, throw that straight, throw whatever he needs to do.
Jack asks, would you ever fight Fernando Martinez for the IBF?
Is that for the 115, right?
Yeah, that's the 115 IBF.
Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah, we've been trying to do that. I mean, I've been trying to call what's his name? Maidana. I'm like, yo, Maidana, let's make this fight happen, bro. You know?
Listen, I think Fernando needs it. You know, he had the two fights with Jerwin earlier this year, and I'm just like, where he's at now, you know, because of the politics. Once again, the politics affect which fights we're going to see, and I don't think that Fernando is going to like go to the zone and fight Choco. It's like, no, he ain't going over there, bro. He going to stay where he at. So one fight that is a high-profile fight that he could have is that fight, Donaire, for the IBF.
Yeah, I'm all for that, man. I'm all for that. That's all I need is just to touch 115. You know, if those guys Estrada doesn't want to do that, then I'll touch 115, get the 5 division, go back to 118, be undisputed, and then race to go up to 122. I know my wife's like, don't be crazy. I'm like, hey, I am crazy. This is why I'm boxing.
But I'll tell you what, look, Fernando Martinez, I'll give this to Fernando. Fernando, Argentinian fighters are very strong fighters. They hit hard and they can take a hit. He has that, but he's limited. And we saw that in the last Ancajas fight. He's limited. Yep. Combinations are very limited. And I'm not kissing ass. I'm just saying, I don't think he could take a Donaire left hook. No, I don't.
Nope.
I don't think he can eat
that's given, the guy's tough, but given that I do sit him up, I don't think that a lot of his movement, I already kind of memorized a lot of his movement and what his flaws are and what punches I need to take him out, and yeah, I think that he's a tough guy, he's a great fighter, and he's a really nice guy too, I heard. But when it comes down to it, just allowing me to set up, because it's different. I'm not Ancajas. Ancajas is a great fighter, but he's a southpaw guy, and they already know each other's style. But with me, I'm so versatile that it's very hard to gauge how I'm gonna fight.
By the way, Nonito, could I ask you something else?
Yes, sir.
I know this fight is pretty much probably DOA, but Spence versus Crawford, who you got?
Man, for me, I've always been Bud's always been a good friend of mine. He's always supporting me and all that stuff. So for me, I'm a little bit biased because I've known him, but looking into all these fights, I mean, granted that whatever that's going on it's outside of something that I'm like, what the hell is going on? You know what I'm saying? But I think that he's a very skillful fighter. I mean, not only that he got power, but he's very smart, and I think that he just has to happen. I hope that it does, but from the way it is, it's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad I heard it from somebody in the industry.
Thank you.
Because I've been saying, and I got into a lot of arguments with a lot of people, but I've been saying that fight is not going to happen. I'm sorry.
No, because the people behind Spence don't want it.
Yep. But see, Shelton.
It's not Spence.
Shelton.
It's not Spence. Yeah.
I'm not going to put it on. Look. Your mic, bro. I'm not going to play the blame game. I am going to play the blame game. But because I've been said they not going to fight. This is going to be Bo versus Lewis all over again. That's what it's going to be. They're not going to fight.
Well, I said it last night, Jules, on this panel, and I'm going to say it one more time. Errol Spence, as great as he is a flat-footed, come forward volume puncher.
Basic fighter.
Yeah.
That style is all wrong for a sniper, a boxer, and a guy that got power in both hands who can switch like Crawford.
You know what he's going to do? I'm going to use my psychic Capricornian powers. I'm going to tell you how to fight him. This is how the fight ends. Errol has a very stiff jab. Very stiff. It's very stiff when he shoots that jab. And what I see is Crawford a turn. He'll do the same thing he did to Porter. Errol's a southpaw. He's going to pivot on him. He's going to hit him with the left hook. Errol goes down, bro. He goes down. It's the same thing that he did to Sean Porter the whole fight. He bull and matadored him. Sean will come forward, Terrence a shift, shoot the left hook while he shift, landed. Sean is a tough guy, by the way. He's world class.
Very durable. But Earl can only take that so many times.
Guy. Hard to hurt and hard to keep off you. Yeah. But I don't really like how Errol looked when punches land on him. I've been saying that. I just don't like.
Look at the way what's his name caught him when they fought. I mean,
Sean hurt him. Ugas hurt him. Come on now.
Ugas. That's what I meant to say. Ugas. I mean, Ugas blocked him and he was hurt.
But see, if you look at Crawford, his main attributes are distance and timing.
Counterpunching too.
So either he's gonna walk you into something, he's gonna catch you in between your shot, or he's gonna hit you with some shit that you don't see coming.
Yeah.
You know what? Crawford doesn't have the best chin. Sean Porter was wobbling him a little bit, buzzing him a little bit.
Let me say this. Let me say this.
Okay, now here, wait, let me get
No,
you.
he wasn't.
Let me jump on this.
No,
Let me
he
jump
did.
on
What
this.
you talking? I don't know what
All
you're
right,
talking
people
about.
always say that chinny shit. Okay, chinny. How are you chinny?
That's gonna come
when
into
you've
play.
never been
Porter was
stopped.
wobbling him.
Now hold on.
You've never been stopped.
Let me handle this.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Can I is it? Are we talking about the chin?
We talking about the chin, and all I'm going to say is this. I just want to get this off. Look. All right. I know Errol is chinny. I know that for a fact. If you go back to the Sean Porter fight, where you tell me that Sean Porter wobbled Terrence Crawford, I would have to go back and find that. But I know that I could go to the Errol Spence Sean Porter fight, and I could find at least 2 instances where Sean Porter, who's not known for power, hurt Errol.
Thank you.
Him over the top on the temple, and Errol was wobbled.
Thank you.
Hit him to the body, and you know what Sean normally do. Sean normally smothers his punches. He's so goddamn close to the guy, there's no room for leverage. But he went to the body on Errol, and Errol was hurt. You don't have to look to find it. You can see it, all right? So you can't tell me that Errol is this durable. Nah, son, I've been seeing him hurt from the early stages of his career to the middle stages before the car accident.
Not wobble, but days.
But he been getting hurt, and it's not even the car accident, it's not that, because the Porter fight was before all of that, and I've seen him hurt more than once.
And this is my perspective as a fighter, okay? Like, I've been hit numerous times. I've been down a few times, and there was a punch, the last fight, the punch that I did not see. I can take punch, some parts of a person when you get hit in the right time, in the right place, you're going good night.
Yeah.
Like when I got hit, yes, I got back up because that's just how I am. But I didn't know where the hell I was.
Speaking of which, Nonito, about that, was that the hardest punch you've ever taken when he put you down?
It was the right punch. It wasn't the hardest punch. It was the right punch in the right place. It was not that hard. But it was like when D'Artagnan ran into my left hook.
It caught you just right.
But
it's always the ones that you don't see that hurt you the most.
We can say this. Errol is not a counterpuncher, first and foremost. In that fight, the counterpuncher and the sharpshooter and the guy who's literally looking to hit you with a shot that you won't see because of where it's coming from, that's Crawford, bro. That's Crawford. What Errol does, and look, I'm not even going to knock him. He's not a bad fighter, right? But what he does, the in-fight adjustment that he makes is he throws more punches. That's it. He throws more punches. From round 3 to round 4, he starts picking up the pace. But it's the same stuff. It's the same stuff. Crawford will figure that out, and I'm telling you to take him out. I don't have a doubt in my mind. I said it 3 years ago. Crawford going to be the first man to stop Sean Porter.
And what happened?
I'm telling you. I don't know what the future holds for Errol.
Yeah, but Porter could have finished that fight on his feet.
But he didn't.
But he didn't. But he didn't.
His trainer called the fight for him.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda, bro.
He didn't.
Terrence still stopped.
He was stopped.
But the whole thing is it was stopped. That's it. Regardless what you think it's gonna be, or he could have finished on his feet, the fight was stopped, and that's just pretty much how it is. It's on data.
Yeah. Oh, I figured, and I literally said this on Lady Chan's channel right before the fight. Literally right before the fight. I said, I think Kenny gonna pull him out. He gonna start getting hit. He gonna start getting hit with shots. They're big shots, and Kenny gonna throw it. He's gonna pull it. It's on camera. Now with Errol, what I see for Errol, and look, it's not a knock on him. It's just what I see. He goes out like, nah, you going out. All right. What the future holds for Errol, at least in my opinion, it is not that fight. I believe, beyond the Thurman fight, if he wins, we don't get the Crawford fight. What we will get is Errol versus Fundora at 154. Maybe Errol versus Valiev at 154. But we're not getting Crawford.
And to my man said he's seen Crawford wobble numerous times, correct?
Days. Okay.
What happened to all those guys that dazed him?
Well, they eventually got beat up. I agree with that.
It doesn't matter what happens.
Crawford is a great boxer.
It doesn't matter what happens when you get hit. What matters is what you do after you get hit.
Yeah.
Do you fold up?
You're right.
Or do you come back and
just saying
stop
he
the
did get
motherfucker that hit you?
Hey, fellas. I gotta take care of the kids for a minute. I appreciate y'all having me, man, and everybody out there.
Appreciate
Come
you,
back.
champ. Thank you for being
I
here.
appreciate y'all,
Always
man.
come
Thank
back.
you, guys.
Always come back.
Always
Always come
come
back.
back, man. Thank you.
Always come back.
Thank you, sir.
Love having you, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. I love this. It's a very intelligent conversation. You know, I love that. This is why I'm coming back, and thank you for this opportunity.
By the way, champ, if you ever fight in Norway again, I got you. I'm rooting for you, champ.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Now, I want to say this to Javi. I just want to say this to Javi. This is the main thing, right? When you get in a big accident, those injuries don't go away. I got hit by a car when I was 11, 12, and my ankle has never been right as a result of that. The accident that Errol was in, he landed on his face, my guy, on his face. And I'm telling you, when you in a car accident, you don't really be the same after that, bro. You really don't. I'm just telling you.
Now, no, I heard about the accident. I've been a boxing fan for only a couple years, so I don't have as much knowledge as you guys have. I've only seen Crawford a couple fights, and Errol Spence has some highlights.
I'm just telling you, de verdad, un accidente así, que no, you got banged up. You don't be the same. I'm telling. All I did was get hit in the leg, my guy, and my ankle still pops off of that. That was ages ago. Errol actually was in a horrific car accident where he got thrown out the car, bro.
Probably should have killed him. Seriously.
You don't be the same. You're not going to be. I'm telling you, really not going to be the same.
You know what? That fight should go 15 rounds.
No, porque lo mata. 15 asalto lo mata.
Hey, let me say something to Javier real quick. Hey, Javier, since you only been a fight fan for a couple years, I suggest a couple things. One, put the sport first. Two, delve into the past fights in the history and get into it, man. And then,
I've been learning little by little. Before I used to go off emotion, like, man, why couldn't he beat him? But now I understand the details. It's more than just emotion.
Te voy a dar un ejemplo. A mí no me gusta Gervonta y a mí no me gusta Ryan tampoco. Pero si yo veo los dos estilos de los dos muchachos, tú tienes que ver la fuerza. La fuerza de Gervonta que él tiene, el contragolpe. La fuerza que tiene Ryan, speed and length, which if he uses it right, and I'm not saying it because I like him. No, I don't.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you on that one.
If he just
before the Fortuna fight, I thought Ryan was going to get knocked out. I thought Ryan was going to get knocked out before the Fortuna fight because I saw him against Campbell. I'm like, if Tank lands that, Ryan is going to sleep. But after the Fortuna fight, I'm like, that's exactly how he's going to beat Tank.
Maning,
yes.
All he has to do, well, I'm not going to say all because it's easier said than done, but he can set him up for the left hook by baiting him with the jab. Remember that Gervonta is a lot shorter than Ryan. That means that you have to get close to Ryan to land. He can bait him, get in a high guard, then set him up for the same
level. You know what else? You know what else? Fonseca and the Filipino guy before that, they couldn't touch his face. They could not touch his face. They barely raised his arms. They could barely reach his arms.
It was beautiful when he got into a high guard because he knew Fonseca was going to shoot the jab, and try to bring it.
Not only that, if you watch that fight, they had to literally get on a ladder, like Ryan said to Tank. You have to get on a ladder. Like they could not touch his face as much as people want to. And Tank has to sit down on his punches or wait for the other fighter to make a mistake. If not, he'll just walk you down because he could eat your punches. He's not going to eat too many of Ryan Garcia's punches.
No se lo come. He's the one. It's not just, what Ryan has is the dude is fast as fuck, bro.
I think he's faster than Tank. He's faster than Tank. I think he is.
And the way that I know he's fast, when I put the footage of Ryan's left hook in one of the intros for the videos, there's frames missing because of how fucking fast the goddamn hook is. There's whole frames in the shot that are missing because it go from here to here. Like it's already there. And it's like 3 frames missing in it. I'm like, yo, this kid is fast. Yeah. And the way that he can set up Gervonta is, remember, Gervonta's a righty, so he's gonna be here. And he jab him, jab him, and Gervonta gonna try to get his jab out there. If he step, put that left hook in there, that fucking fight is over, bro. It is. He don't eat that. He not going to eat that left hook.
When it comes to the both of them, like who wants to fight more? I think Ryan wants it more than Tank. If I'm being honest, like, he's hungry. He's hungrier. He's hungrier.
The only reason que Gervonta quiere pelear con Ryan es porque él piensa que Ryan es más flojito que Shakur, or más flojito que Devin.
Yeah, I agree with that. The difference between Tank and Ryan is Ryan does not have to sit on his punches. He just reaches out and he graces you, and he can knock you out with that, or hurt you, or buzz you. Tank has to literally wait for you, like make a plan to.
Look, you said it. You said he has to. With every Gervonta Davis knockout that I've seen, and it's not that look. We say a lot of shit about Gervonta, but all jokes aside, he's a good counter puncher. That's what he has. Pero él espera para el momento a tirar contragolpe. Y van a beberse que ese contragolpe no va a venir, because this kid is long as shit and he's fast. He's taller than you. He does
Ryan,
not
if he touches you by accident, if Ryan touches you by accident, he's gonna.
But here's the only caveat, fellas. Here's the only caveat. You just said it, Jules. For Gervonta to get to you, you got to make a mistake. Correct?
Yep.
Exactly.
Ryan makes a ton of mistakes.
I'm gonna tell you what I don't like about Ryan.
Here's the question, though. Here's the question: if Ryan leaves his chin out there and Tank connects, will he be able to get back up, or is he done?
No. If Luke Campbell had you stunned, Tank's gonna knock you out.
You know what he got to fix?
Absolutely, if he lands.
You know what he got to fix? You know what he really got to fix?
Gotta tuck that damn chin.
No. His feet. His feet. This is feet. This is feet more than anything. If he can manage that distance, Tank can never get close enough. Tank will never get close enough to land a punch or counter punch when he fixed them feet.
Absolutely, 100%.
And that's the problem. The kid got fast hands. He got slow feet, and he leaves his chin in the air.
That's the main thing.
Joe did not have kinks.
Fonseca couldn't reach his face. He could barely reach half of his arm.
Es la misma vaina con Tank es pequeñito, not to say nothing bad, pero él es pequeñito, and he's gonna need to be at least close enough to get off the counter shot.
He needs to walk through fire to actually.
Will Ryan let him get close? That's the thing. Could he get close?
That's where the feet come in. That he need fix them feet.
And
if he comes forward, take a half
head movement.
Well, lo que yo estoy diciendo es esto. We can't ask him to change a whole lot in just one fight. You see what I mean? That there's only so many changes that he can make. So which are the important ones? The feet, bro. If you pumping out that jab, and you keep it moving, like if you see it comes forward, take a half step back. Keep pumping out that jab. As long as you keep managing that distance and keep that jab in his face, he'll never get close enough to land anything.
Not only that, but those punches are gonna hurt by Ryan. He's not no Mario Barrios. Mario Barrios didn't have the power to keep Tank off of him.
What gives Ryan an advantage in this fight is the fact that he's been continually fighting southpaws to prepare for fighting with Tank.
Yeah, Javier was a southpaw. Luke was a southpaw.
Is this new guy he's fighting in January southpaw too?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's been fighting. He's prepping. Diet of southpaws, so he's preparing.
He's prepping.
And more importantly, Ryan has. I believe Ryan has the right punch for this fight. Most people tell you that against a southpaw, you got to throw the right? But this is a very short southpaw who's a small target. The right hand for Ryan, it's not safe to throw that. The right punch for this fight is the left hook. When Gervonta Davis comes in, he tries to land, get off that left hook, you pop him so fast he ain't gonna know what hit him. But if you throw the right and you commit to the right, he could counter that. You'll give up height trying to land that right. Don't shoot that right. Feint the right and set up the left hook. That's what he got to do.
I just think people are going to be surprised. I think Ryan Garcia either goes 12, outboxes him, because Tank is going to be hard for him to land or knock Ryan Garcia out with that distance. If Ryan Garcia fights him like he fought Fortuna, and I think they'll have to fight again.
And the jab is too quick. What I see about Ryan's jab that it's the best weapon that he has in this fight, except for the left hook, is the speed on that jab. If you moving them feet, you beating them feet, and you're keeping that jab out there, he will not get close enough to land anything, B. All the rounds is going to be the same. Just don't get cute in the middle. Do not get cute. Do not start throwing punches.
He can't rest too much on the ropes or anything like that. He can't take a couple seconds off. He just can't. He has to keep his distance as much as possible.
Yep. With that, con eso él gana. Con eso él gana.
His height is already to his advantage. He doesn't have to be as defensive as he needs to. He can make mistakes because he's so tall. I'm telling you, Tank is going to literally have to jump to punch Garcia in the face. He's not going to come down to his height. He's not going to come down to his level, make himself short. He's going to keep punching him.
Wasn't Barrios close to like Ryan's height?
Yes, but he couldn't keep him off with his power. He had no power.
Bro, one, Barrios don't have power like that. One, he don't have power like that. Two, he don't have speed. It's the speed and the length together that when he shoot that jab, you either gonna get hit by it or you gonna cover up. You either gonna get hit by it or you gonna cover up. What Ryan has to do is be astute enough that look, if he's covering up from the jab, don't take the bait. Don't step in. Don't take the bait. Stay right the fuck there and keep jabbing. If upstairs is closed, I jab him to the body. But don't come over with the right. You come over with the right, he could counter that. The left hook is the money in that fight. Why? His little ass gonna have to try to come in to get off anything. When he come in, move, and he out of there. I don't think he could eat a left hook from Ryan. I really don't. I don't
either. I mean, because I'll say this about Ryan's last performance against Fortuna. We could all, say Fortuna wasn't a upper echelon of lightweights, whatever else. But how Ryan looked in that fight, that's probably the best I've ever seen him look.
Yeah,
like in a while. Best I've ever seen him look. And if he can look like that against Tank, he's got a legit shot of stopping him and knocking him out.
And that's all I'm saying. Yep. He has a shot. That's all I'm saying. I ain't saying no crazy shit.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
He has a shot. He like it's not as far apart as it looks. Like, no, he has a shot, but he has to be smart. And the reason that you got to give Gervonta a good chance too is you're not that experienced. The best fighter you ever fought was Luke Campbell. That's the best you ever fought. You know what I mean? You haven't been in there with that many guys that will we know without a shadow of a doubt Ryan get in. No, we don't. The best guy you fought was Luke, bro. That's the best guy you fought. Look at the salva is that you are fighting a lot of southpaws. You fought Luke, you fought Fortuna, you about to fight Hesta. He's a southpaw, so you getting the right kind of experience, and Hesta is the best choice.
Luke Campbell was the best thing that happened to Ryan. If that was Tank, Ryan would have been knocked out. So the fact that Tank didn't fight him before, like when Campbell fought him, he should have fought him then. He would have knocked him out. But now, after Fortuna, I think after Campbell and Fortuna, I'm like, this guy has a legit chance.
Yeah, he has a better chance than people. You got to fight the right fight, and it's kind of like fighting boring. The jab is your friend in this fight. You don't need a whole lot more than the jab, the left hook, and beat them feet. If he come forward, take a half step back, walk him into another jab. The right hand, hey, feint the right. Feint that shit. Don't throw that shit because he counted that. Feint the right, set up the left hook. That's how you
if Ryan keeps doing that, hopefully Tank will get frustrated enough to take a chance, and then that's when Ryan's got him.
And he'll lunge because he's little. Yes. He'll lunge, lean over his lead foot, eat that left foot.
Wow. That's how Fosenka got caught. He tried to lunge in because of his height, and that's how he got caught. And you see Ryan. All it took is literally 1 second, and for him, he slowed time down. You can see Ryan slow time down and just focus on his chin, and it's happened so fast that he was out before you know it.
I don't think Gervonta takes the best punch. A lot of the guys, with the exception, and you got to give him a little bit of credit for Isaac Cruz because it's like I think he has power. I think Isaac has power. It's just you really haven't beaten nobody. So I'm like, yo, if a motherfucker land clean and quick on Gervonta, I think he'll go out. I think he will go right the fuck out. And motherfuckers will be shocked. But it's like you got to realize, too, that Gervonta didn't do himself, or the matchmakers, I should say, they didn't do him a lot of favors. You got a guy, he's always in there with a guy, certain type of guy, you know, that's gonna go out, certain type of guy. And not that Ryan's matchmaking was all that ambitious, but Mario Barrios is not Ryan Garcia, man. No.
By the way, I mean, Jules, let me ask you this. I know the fight's not happening now, but when Isaac Cruz and Ryan Garcia was the talking point, who'd you have in that? Did you make a choice?
Not because I hadn't seen any footage on Isaac.
Okay.
Man, look, I wish people would stop talking about this Isaac Cruz good. This guy ain't beat nobody. He ain't fought no goddamn body.
I'm with you, Sheldon.
I'm just saying.
Stop talking about that guy. That guy ain't shit. He ain't proved shit to me. He lost to a man with one hand. He's famous for losing to a guy that had one hand.
That's it. His biggest win is a loss. He ain't beat nobody. Like I brought it up because actually some people actually picking Isaac to knock out Ryan. William Zepeda beat the shit out of JoJo. We can say that.
Yeah.
You know what? I think Tank has a great chin, and I don't think Ryan's going to knock him out with one punch. I think it's going to be if he knocks him out, it's going to be from an accumulation of punches, and it's going to be like in the 10th, 11th round. It's not going to be like the mute Mike. I think you have to get Tank ready. He's never been bust before, as far as I know. And I think he's going to take Ryan's punches to like the 11th round.
I'll tell you what. I think if he hits him with the left hook, he's going to stun him, and the punch after that will take him out.
I think even if he stuns him, I think he's still dangerous. And I think
te lo voy a decir porque déjame decirte por qué. La manera que él tira ese gancho, ¿verdad? And where Gervonta will be when that hook gets thrown. Remember, we're talking about a scenario where Gervonta leans in, he has to lunge in to try to land a shot, and he's right there for the left hook. He's like the sweet spot. It's right there. He'll get if he don't go out from the hook, he'll go out with the punch that comes after the hook because he won't be bracing himself for it. He'll be completely there for the left hook, but you got to get him to lunge. You got to get him to lean over his lead foot. If he don't lean over his lead foot, stay on the jab. Keep punishing him. Stay on the jab. Outwork him because Gervonta Davis is not no volume puncher. He is not a combination puncher. He only throws 1 2 shots at a time.
That jab is really I think Ryan's jab would really trouble him if Rolly's jab was giving him trouble a lot of the fight when they fought.
Yeah. And he admitted that they were hurting him.
Ryan's jab was going to do way worse, you know.
And Tank after the post conference, he was like he was hurting me with his punches. Broly was.
So imagine from somebody that's actually faster and taller. Nah, son. Ryan has a chance. Ryan definitely has a better chance than people give him credit for.
Yeah, like I said, like Ryan, if he just graces you the top of your head, and you know Tank is short, he graced that Filipino guy on top of the head and he was out. Like, and Tank is small, so he's gonna be able to catch him a whole bunch of times. Ryan is.
Let me read the super chat. Tony Boswell says much respect. Ring IQ in chat. Stop by. Appreciate you, Tony. Appreciate you. On that note, ladies and germs, I am going to go to bed. The next episode of The Relay will be uploaded after this live. Y'all all welcome on Saturday to come back when we watch Crawford versus Amnesia.
Yeah. My man.
Yeah, man.
Hob, welcome to the channel, man. Frequent the channel and come learn